And hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. We are Hard Knock Dice. I did not realize Matt wasn't here, so that was funny. Hello, we're Hard Knock Dice. My name is Jonesy, your Dungeon Master for the evening, and these folks over here are your heroes for the evening and my best friends. What's up? Welcome back, Matt. I did not realize you weren't here.
No, I literally closed as soon as you started.
God damn it.
There are bits of corruption all over this screen.
Yeah, that's why I was asking earlier. I don't know what the latest OBS update did, besides scramble my fucking corruption dots, which were really hard to put together and put into place. It took me like 4 hours, so thanks for that, OBS.
Nice.
Fuck. But anyways, well, I'll get that straightened out between now and some other point in time. Until then, we're Hard Knock Dice. We're going to be playing across Eberron today, but before we hop into that, we're raising money with Extra Life. I'm going to go ahead and click on that link. If you go check that link out, we're raising money with Extra Life specifically for the Children's Healthcare of Atlantis. Go click on that link, open your heart wallets, do the lawful kind thing, and be a hero IRL. So, really dope stuff all around. Anything else? Oh,
We're not quite there. We do have birthday this month, but not quite there yet.
that is true.
Whose birthday this month?
It means I just
It's a mystery until we get there.
I'll just look it up.
Cringe.
you have to look it up.
It's not Matt's. I know
Bad
that much.
friend.
It's not Matt's.
Matt's birthday is in March.
It's not Jones.
Matt's birthday is not in
It's
March.
not in March. It's not in March.
Matt's
My
birthday is
goodness.
in January.
We are just outing ourselves as bad friends. Is what's happening right
I don't
now.
remember
Jonesy's birthday is
anybody.
February 15th.
Oh, that's cheating. That's
She remembers that because it's 3 days
Yeah, because your
before
birthday
hers.
is right.
Correct.
That's
Twice
I
is in
remember
August.
Jones's birthday because that's what we use for
Yeah.
for our
in
chess
all
code.
video
so
Seven
games.
days to die. That's the chess code. Is Alex's birthday.
Everyone some free loot when you're playing games.
Yeah,
if you ever
go
happen
play,
to come
go
across
play
us
the
somehow.
7-year-old version of Breaking Point. You can rob our stores of goods. We had like 4 things. So, anyways, no birthdays quite yet, but we will maybe get there. So in that case,
News.
Is that a threat?
yes.
Promise. That's a promise. We don't get there. We don't get to,
Oh man. Okay, we took off last week to go do some things. I apologize about that because I didn't announce it on Twitter. We just decided to take it and we just took it, so that's my fault. 100% on me. But we took that time off to hang out with each other in person. If you don't like that, well then, fuck you. I don't care.
I enjoyed hanging out with everybody.
Damn.
It was a great time.
So, last we left off, if I can remember, I'm definitely not stalling because I don't remember everything that happened last session. Our heroes definitely made it to the island of Tuki Tuki. I do remember that portion of it. But there was a lot that happened during that time. One of which, Crowley casting Wish to save his daughter, Leah. Her soul shattered after Crowley using some resurrection magics, maybe a bit too early, caused her to this new body of his that formed from that process, taking bits of shattered soul along with her. However, repairing it with a wish spell, calling on the spirits of Tuki Tuki and indeed the world to help heal those, did find himself now bedridden in a state after casting such magics. Some other stuff happened with Artyom and Erish, who decided that well, they were just gonna see how bad off Gandalwin was, because he's been acting kind of strange lately. So Artyom, and just a little playful guy that he is, little trickster that he is, decided to act like Gandalwin's child was dead and that he had killed it because it was too evil. Freaking out the mother of the child, Autumn, who still laid in the bed not even 24 hours after giving birth to this child, seeing that Artyom, after casting Feign Death, it looked like the child was dead. However, it did confirm some of Artyom's suspicions. Gandalwin looking at the child and said, well, if it was evil, it was for the best, and then walked out of the room. Our other compatriots here with Milo and Pip now take a journey across the seas. After taking a quick U-turn to also pick up Kashik, are now going to find a way to attempt to fix Pip's brother Nax, who has been inflicted with corruption of Zoriat that is turning him slowly but surely into a monster from Zoriat, a bug-like creature. Indeed, more than half of his body has already been transformed. So they now fly through the skies in Baba Yaga's mortar towards the city of Rote to try to find a suitable person, just to put the plan out there for everybody to hear, to transfer that corruption from Nax into someone who has to be willing through trickery, or maybe there's just a good citizen. Problem being in that there has to be someone that is at least like the power level, the soul, like the essence, strength that Nax has. This person also has to contain, which isn't very common. However, Pip now soars to Rote with Milo and Kashik, going towards an old house in Rote, looking for someone in the Boromar clan that might fit that description. Our other friends at the end, Dandelion, Artyom, Erish, and Azor, you got roped into that group as well. I think you won't mind though, as these folks are going towards Zarashak to rescue Karlagla and her crew, in which crew is Azur's adopted parents as well. So now they travel to Zarashak with Slick, and that's where we're going to start picking back up. Is there any group that prefers to go first?
I'll go first. I stay in bed. Good hustle.
Probably is taken care of. Still.
Roll to sleep. Roll to rest well.
Yeah, how will you
for
rest in that
crippling
crowd?
exhaustion?
James, go ahead, tell me
Roll a
what to roll for that.
Constitution saving throw for being able to sleep through a newborn baby crying a lot in the other room.
Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, I might just have to take that. Ooh.
29.
This man said,
You're not
I'm
there."
tired. I'm sleeping
Just
on
20,
a
22
2x4."
for Crowley. That's all I got.
Okay. Inspiring yourself, lulling yourself to
Natural
sleep with your own
20.
music. Having your shadow puppet play some music in the corner for you as you fall asleep to drown out the sleeping baby. If no one has a preference of who's going first, then we will pick back up in Rote, or at least flying above and toward it. Very well. Milo, Kashik, and Pip soar above the skies towards the city of Rote. You've been here once before. It is indeed where you picked up your old pilot Nilbo. Is there, you're sort of flying over the city at the moment you're there, no issues. You have seen the terrible landscape that is Sharn, tentacles all around a darkened and storm-filled city at the moment. But Breland, the country itself, opens back up, and you just see normal countryside. You also see troops and troops of soldiers as you fly over in hundreds of miles an hour in a oversized mortar. This is level 19. Rote, other than an extreme city guard presence along the walls, is relatively normal from what you've experienced so far from the desolate lands of Droam, with monstrosities everywhere towards what you see below in Sharn when you pass over, and the soldiers forming up outside, and Breland making troops going out towards the front lines. Road is relatively normal. People are tending to the fields outside of walls to keep food coming in. There's high traffic on the river itself. City guards taking and bringing supplies to Breelish military vessels on the at the docks, and you see merchant citizens are in the streets trading goods. It's still a busy city. Where would you folks like to land in your massive mortar for the city of Rote?
Somewhere inconspicuous, I guess.
You know what? Let's actually.
Yeah.
I bring myself to a good point as I look up this magical item.
I feel feel like this is the equivalent of going, how do you want to land in your flying saucer? Inconspicuously.
yeah. I mean,
It's moving super fast. It's moving super fast. So they'll be like, what was that?
It's
It'll
much
be
more
like an
difficult for
asteroid.
people to see things that are moving quickly. It doesn't draw their attention to it whatsoever.
People miss shooting stars all the time. That shit goes, and they go, huh?
That's also way farther away.
I think you missed the point. Is the fact that a shooting star makes someone go, huh?
Yep.
I meant like if I was like talking about like someone pointing it out to him, like, ooh, shooting star, but it's already gone by the time they look up.
I just feel like you'd hit the ground and skip.
Flying
Just going those.
I'm thinking it's just
magic,
gonna be like,
okay?
yeah, magical asteroid. You're gonna hit the ground fairly hard, but if you're looking at the outside walls of Rote, you can find a place that isn't necessarily covered with people, avoiding most eyes. If that's your goal, landing somewhere inconspicuously, bringing the mortar back down to its normal size, that is fine. You can make your way into the walls of Rote, seeing that you are not abominable monstrosities, with the exception of Kaushik, unless you have decided to change your form.
I am not an abominable monstrosity.
You are an
First of
undead
all-
mind flayer.
Yep. That's kind of like almost the definition of that.
No, y'all are just rude. Yeah, I'm gonna use a little bit of make myself look like I used to look.
Like you used to look?
Yeah, make me look like Kaushik, not.
No
not-
improvements.
There's nothing to improve. I was a hot bitch before I was an octopus.
With the disguised self in the place, Kaushik, is that drawing off your mind flayer powers, or is that a spell that you have normally?
I'm about to check because I can't remember. It might be drawing off my mind flayer powers.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, just double check on that for me real quick.
I'm just saying, if there was a collision involving the flying mortar, it says the mortar can only be destroyed under very specific circumstances, so it's right through the fucking wall.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the
It could
mortar
bounce
or
off.
those within. I would be worried about whatever you were crashing into, but into a field, you'll probably see some of the farmers outside of Rote like look at the impact. We almost had a recreation of Abraxia's leg snap where the fucking headphones just flew off. But other than a few farmers, nothing nothing that
Waves to
concerns
the
you.
farmers.
Yeah, I don't have it normally, so.
So it is drawing off your mind flare price. If you can, please give me
Yeah.
a quick Constitution saving throw.
I don't want to do that.
Well, you got to.
But I don't want to.
I mean, I suppose you'd automatically. fail if you
19
really
on the dice.
Good
19
job.
on the dice plus 1 for dirty 20.
That is a
19 on the dice.
success.
Well, I sure hope so, because the only other thing
I
I
do
could
not
roll
like
is a
the fact-
20.
I have to think about it. He's like, that may not.
I don't like that fact either.
We are high level, so I suppose.
Well,
You said dirty.
the only
20?
way that. If the only way I can get a con check is by rolling a nat 20. That'd be insane. Yeah, it's a dirty 20.
It is a success.
Okay, good.
Alrighty. And
Wonderful.
okay, cool. I just have to look at the next level of corruption just in case.
Alternatively.
How long does that spell last?
1 million
I think
years.
an hour, but
I think it's also 1 hour. I just want you to
Double
double check.
check.
For me.
1 hour.
Okay, so you know you have 1 hour before you need to do this again. You choose not to do it again. You run into other issues, but that's on you.
Wonderful.
I bet the people of Rote are really digging mind flayers right now. Just an FYI.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
You
Their
guys
favorite
are
thing.
let in with no problem into the city. A quick lie or even the truth. With what you're here for, you guys are let in because you're not, tentacle or feeler covered monsters. So, you're let in.
As far as they know.
As far as they know. I did roll a check, but none of the guards at first notice. Pip, you have described on the previous episode, I believe it was a greenhouse that you knew, but you didn't know much other than that. You did know, however, that you could communicate with the Boromar clan through your thieves' cant. So, being that you know what to look for, I would like you to give me an investigation check. This isn't pass-fail, but it will just sort of dictate how much time you spend around Rote looking for this place.
That is going to be a 16.
16, okay. Kaushik, that is going to require one more roll for you, as it's going to take an hour to find this place.
Okay.
If you decide to keep the guys up.
It's supposed to be a con, right?
Mm-hmm. Constitution saving throw.
Total of 16.
That is a failure.
Yeah. That sucks.
Okay. It's not going to look good on stream, but I'm going to go ahead and add your fourth so I don't forget it. That is a fourth level of corruption.
Wait, don't do that to me. I don't deserve it. What good person.
Pip with a 16, it does take you all an hour to find it, but after a while, trying to remember either through what stories of Sidan would tell you, or maybe even going with Sidan once to the city of Rote, you find yourself in a residential district of Rote, looking around, and you see like silver light fixtures hanging off, and you're like in a row of what looks like just, you know, those neighborhoods that are cookie cutter houses where they like all sort of look the same and they're all fucking green on this street, and it's like, fuck. With a 16, and after an hour of looking around, you notice that these sort of silver light fixtures off the houses themselves, if you've ever seen those 3D art fixtures where you have to look at it from a very certain perspective, well, looking at these as you're going by, walking down one of these streets, these light fixtures line up in a silver dragon. The symbol of the Boromar clan lines up on one house down the street, inconspicuous in the middle of a neighborhood, but you recognize immediately as that's our place of business here in Rote.
Right? I believe this is it. So, did Brittany, is Kaushik looking?
No, I failed my
Are
con
you-
save, but I still cast the
But you-
spell.
Okay, you still okay, because I was trying to figure out if I needed to like throw some invisibility on you or whatever.
So
All
her
right.
con saves are not for casting. She casts the spells; they go off regardless.
Okay.
Her
Okay,
con
fine.
saves
Okay.
are for something else.
At this level.
Right, that's the house. Wait just a moment. She'll like step around the corner and just concentrate. She steps back around the corner. She looks a little bit more refreshed, a little younger, a little bustier than she did 5 minutes ago or 5 seconds ago, and has adjusted her clothes. Like, all right, let's go in. We'll see who's there.
Okay,
Just lead,
And-
lead the way,
you can do all the talking, right?
of course.
Right.
She's got her
Um,
hand
I
in.
can
Go ahead.
I can try and come up with an explanation if necessary, but you'll have to be the one to sell it. Deceiving people is not really my strong suit.
Gotcha. And DM, if you would allow, in my mind, I think given the the extent of the Boromar clan and everything, in my head I had that she had like a coin that was like a special coin that she could show, if somebody needed proof that she was part of the clan. So she's stuck her hand in there and has that ready
Gotcha.
to
Okay.
show in case the people don't recognize her.
You'll find that you that's good that you have that on you. As you go up to the door, rapping on it, knocking on the door, it It is not unlocked, or it's locked for you. And when you knock on it a few beats later, you hear steps behind the door, and sort of peak hole is opened up, and you hear sort of muffled on the other side, password.
Holds the coin up and she's like, Boromar.
Closes back. You hear some murmured voices on the other side. And opening up the door. Tall, sort of slender guy, looks relatively rough. A couple of cuts and stuff on it that have healed over, maybe over a couple of weeks. And you'll notice Pip's been here before, right? The house is nearly empty compared to what it was. There's not a lot of people in here. It was a place of business. There were folks walking in and out. Like there were folks doing like illegal like gambling in the back. Like this was a place of business, of entertainment, that sort of thing. It was a clubhouse for the Boromar clan here in Rote. It is not that anymore. You see this one guy in front of you. Who are you?
The Reaper, who are you?
You'll want to come in. Who are your friends?
If you're concerned, they're with me. She'll just like nod her head a little bit to Kaushik and Milo, and she's really like acting like she's ignoring them, like they're beneath her and they're just going to follow her. She's very business.
He doesn't stop you as you go to walk past him and walk in, but he does like put his hand on your arm, and you notice just on his face he recognizes at least your moniker, and leans in. He says to you, "The boss is here, so I hope they're trustworthy."
And she looks very pointedly at his hand on her arm.
No offense.
Let's see him.
It takes you back through a house that maybe once was full of life, is no longer. A couple of folks having a discussion, a couple of glasses of whiskey in their hand, among which sits a silver-haired, silver-eyed halfling of Saida and Boromar.
And then her demeanor completely changes. She becomes very bouncy. Uncle!
Oh, Pimiko. He sort of hops off. That was very dwarvish. Not a dwarf. Halfling. Hops off of his stool, comes up and just sort of holds his hands out, waiting for you to come to him for a hug.
She goes, bends over and hugs him tightly. She gets a little shorter as she crosses the room. Hugs him tightly. Oh my God, it's so good to see you. I've heard terrible things about Sharn.
They're all true. It's not a good place to be.
Glad you made it.
I haven't heard from you in so long. I'm sorry, it's been a month or so. I thought
you wouldn't have believed it. It had been a good guess. If you did, you wouldn't believe it. But that's a story for a longer time when we've got some alcohol and some peace. Where's everybody? It's so fucking empty here.
Sort of looks around. Hey. Sharn fell. I came here a couple of days before that. Our entire operation was raided, seized. Men who resisted were killed. Our supply lines taken over.
Please. Did anyone make it out? Aside from you? Any of the captains?
From Sharn.
Hi. We're here.
What you see here right now is what's left.
She's just clearly a little shocked. Even she can't not show that surprise.
It's the damnedest thing. He goes back and grabs his whiskey. So I had men turning on themselves, turning on each other. I don't know. There was something with the radio, something with TV waves, making people losing their goddamn minds.
That's why it's so quiet here. No TVs, no radios.
Nothing. We think it was just something in Sharn, but I'd rather be safer than sorry. It's good to see you. Sort of looks over your shoulder at Milo and Kaushik, and sort of looks at you, recognizing those two.
I'm
Milo
gonna put
just
them in
nods
draw
at him
am.
if he sees the recognition.
I fought with them in Droam. They're trying to get ready for another fight. I thought we'd come here and see if there was anybody that was willing to help.
Sweetheart, what you see is what you get right now. We're trying to get back any sort of establishment of what we had before. I don't know what that looks like. Here, leave us. Sort of snaps his finger. Everybody heads out. Sit down, all of you. Bygones be bygones and all that. And he pours everyone a drink and slides over drinks to you. To all three of you.
Sit down, kind of kick her feet up, take the whiskey.
So you're looking for soldiers?
We're looking for somebody with some real talent. Milo here's got the plan. I told him I would help.
It's not true, lad.
Is he looking at Milo?
Yeah. It's not true, lad. You have a plan.
I have developed a weapon. I believe that if piloted by a capable enough individual, someone trustworthy, talented, and intelligent, it could be used to allow us to spread more power to different fronts of the war. We can't be everywhere at once.
So you need a pilot.
Indeed, but someone handpicked. Someone we trust with such a powerful piece of technology. Someone intelligent enough to use it properly and brave enough to use it even in the face of great danger, so it does not go to waste.
All right.
We'll look at him, and she's gonna look at him and say, "It's a rescue mission for Nax. It's to be good."
All right. Last I have to tell you, as far as someone that I can trust with this, few and far between here. Have these few lads in here, but most of them are just muscle.
Quick reminder, DM, what did you say this the level of the individual we had to have was?
14.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I mean, if you're looking for someone to help, I'm looking over nothing here but a pile of rubble, really. I can help you find your brother. Least I can do for everything you've done for me.
When he says that, what is the countenance of Pippa? Milo's gonna send her a message. Well, actually, hold on. Is Milo fully aware? I can't remember. Has Pippa made it clear to Milo your previous relationship with Mr. Boromar?
I think you had a time skip while you were running around as Milo. So yeah,
Milo will send you a message and just say,
Technically speaking, it's not time sensitive. If there's no suitable options here that you're willing for, we can try again later.
that's something that Pip could respond to, or she can only hear it.
it's message, let me double check. I think you can respond. You can reply in the same manner.
Much time. We don't have much. And he is suitable.
I'll follow your lead, but there's no going back.
I'm not a fool. You're talking to each other.
He was like using his earpiece like pretty clearly. That wasn't a stealth thing.
Right. I'd like to be clued in.
It's dangerous. You likely won't come back.
I'm likely not to come back.
Likely.
Why is that?
Something about the process. Something about the mission to save Nax. Everything's dangerous these days. I think you know how it is.
Tell me about this mission. Tell me what I'm getting myself into.
Milo's letting Pippa do the talking, so.
But you didn't give her any information.
Nope. He told you that it was going to sacrifice the individual involved, and that it had to be willing. The deception and the parts of it he was leaving up to you.
Don't know much about it. You know me, it's over my head. I'm not the brains of the operation. But they've got people on a floating island, and we came in a cup. We'll have to go back in the cup.
He takes his small hand and puts it on top of yours. Pip, I'm not one of your marks, dear. You want to start off another sentence with you degrading yourself against someone who really knows you? How about we start from the beginning one more time?
Would you like some privacy? I can step out as well.
You brought them here. Tell me what I need to know.
You need to know it's Nax.
And the mission? This
Save
pilot
him.
that you need?
It's just to save him. There's nothing else.
What's the process?
I don't know. And she'll look at Milo.
Milo's gonna send another message, again, not like hiding, and be like,
How much do you want me to tell him?
What he needs to know, and what I need to know is, can you make it painless for him?
actually, I don't know. DM, is there a way for...
He stops you right there as you're like thinking of let me think of a way if this is even if I could make it painless. He says, above table. You have relation to me, but my patience is wearing thin with the secrecy at the table. Let's keep our thoughts aloud here. Shall we?
He
So
looks
she'll
to
just say
Pippa
it
for a
loud.
nod or a head shake.
Nod. Go ahead and tell him, Mila.
Every detail.
What's important?
Very well. Nax is the intended pilot that I was referring to. He is broken in his soul. Corruption from whatever is attacking us or yet. That corruption cannot be gotten rid of, only transferred. Almost certainly fatal. There is a chance that the individual involved could be resurrected, but it is not a 100% chance.
The transfer process needs to be in a new body.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
The transfer process needs to be to a new body.
To a living, willing soul. It is the essence of an individual that is corrupted, not simply their physical form. Otherwise, this would be a much simpler issue. The corruption can be removed, but it will very likely kill the individual possessing the corruption at the time of removal. A rescue attempt to that individual could be made, but no guarantees.
What would happen to that individual before the rescue attempt?
She kind of looks over at Pippa one more time, looking for a nod or a head shake.
A nod.
Madness. Transformation. Become a monstrosity, body and mind. To repair that transformation, to repair their essence, will destroy the body. Hence, the attempted resurrection and potential for it to not succeed.
Well, is there anyone else here?
Why haven't you just grabbed some random, some peasant off the street that wouldn't be missed?
It has to be a matching soul, someone whose essence is as resilient, experienced, someone who has the same capabilities or equivalency. Not all people are equal in this world.
His eyes cut towards you, Pip, when Milo's explaining this, like looking for what you've told this group already.
A small shake of the head. Like imperceptible to anybody but him. No, she's told nothing.
had a lot of time to read before. Into arcane. Theory, if you will. Is there any chance of transferring it into something without a soul, but capable of containing one?
Does Milo have any idea if that would work?
There's something about will in there. So it's a gamble, I think, is what Milo would know.
It might work, but I would have no anecdotes to draw on for confirmation. It may be lacking elements of a living essence that are necessary for this magic to function. It might work. I don't know. And I have had lots of time to research.
If you two would excuse us, I'd have a moment alone with my niece, please.
Milo immediately turns and looks at Pippa, like clearly a little surprised.
Of course.
And
When you do, you'll see her eyes have grown dark purple, and she just nods her head like, get the fuck out.
As we're walking out, as I pass by Pippa, I want to mentally say to her, I'll be listening if you need me, unless you don't want me to. And then wait for either a nod or a head shake.
Let's shake her head. No.
Perfect.
Get out. The two of you.
They leave the room. Sidian gets up, grabs another bottle of whiskey, cracks it open, pours the glass, refills yours, seals it back. The kindnesses I've shown you, you could have come to this above table the entire time and not try to pull something over on me.
Yeah.
I taught you how to lie, girl.
Yet I did such a shit job at it with you. Why do you suppose that is, Uncle?
You're gonna have to make a decision here. I owe you. I've taken a lot from you over these years. But you know what comes after if I take on this. You know what happens after if I take on madness. So it's either that, or you take a gamble.
Now, I never did like a gamble. So,
Well,
it shan't be you, Uncle. It won't.
If you need time to think on it, then do that. But it's your brother's life you're gambling with here. It's not like you're losing a pouch of coins. We're not in Sharn anymore. So, if we do this where I take it on, you know we need to go far away from this city before we do. If we gamble with your brother's life and maybe go this different route, I'll give you that information regardless. I feel like your friends would be keen to know what I know regardless. I know a location of some clones that maybe your friend might be able to siphon that contamination into.
They're close by.
They're right under our feet, dear. What if it's a gamble and we don't know if it'll work? You gamble your brother's life on it.
You have a room I might borrow, Uncle. Just for a wee bit.
We have a fucking lot of empty ones. Throws back a shot.
Finish your drink and set it down. I'm going to take a few moments. I'll be back in a wee bit.
Nods his head.
Give him a big hug and walk out the door. As she walks past Milo and Kaushik, like, I'll be back. Gonna go to an empty room, and she's gonna shut the door and sit down and cross her legs and start to meditate. And after a few moments, she opens her eyes and she's back in that round room with the door. And she's going to stand up and she's gonna call out to her brother. Max, what the fuck do you want me to do?
Pull a wisdom check for me.
Is 18.
18. Hear your brother's voice from behind you. You know it's not him. This is Pip reasoning to herself, trying to filter it through her brother's logic. What the fuck would I know about any of this?
Why, yes.
You turn around, you see Nax there as you remember him. No transformation, just her brother.
Did you like gambling, my lad?
I mean, I got arrested for it. Thrown underneath the Great Crag for playing a bad hand of cards. 2 bad hands of cards. 3. Numbers are unimportant.
Numbers are an illusion. That's what you always told me. They're made up.
Bankers don't believe that, and neither... No.
Oh, and neither did the uncle either. But the fact remains. So you feel lucky, my lad?
I mean... considering our lives.
Right.
Would you consider us lucky?
Tremendous. Pretty fucking, yeah. It could have been so much worse. Okay. Right, get the fuck out of here. I know it's just me.
The room just disappears.
He's gonna go find Milo.
Milo has been probably talking with Kaushik. Outside of the room or wherever it was we got shimmied away to.
Yeah, you guys were like in a dining room whenever y'all were brought in to see Sidan. So yeah, there's like a little sitting room out there. You guys aren't really minded all that much. There's not enough people in here to sit guard over you. So if you're gonna do something, you're gonna do something.
And Milo and Kaushik can communicate telepathically as long as they're close, right?
I think.
Yeah. So he would have like looked over at Kaushik and like tapped his head, like give her the heads up to initiate a psychic conversation. And just.
So, this is going a little differently than I anticipated, but honestly, I'm relieved. It's better this way. Are you going to be willing and able to attempt a resurrection if we go this route?
I think it was our team that wanted to do the resurrection, right? Can I do the resurrection?
Well, basically
Oh, I
bring
can,
him
yeah,
back to
okay,
life
good.
if we kill him with a spell.
Absolutely. I promised you I'd do whatever. I'll do whatever.
I believe that Nax is our most suitable individual. But if this man is capable and willing, I think it's only right to give him a fair shot at coming back.
Agreed.
Okay. Just making sure we were on the same page before I made any promises.
Right.
That was basically what he wanted to talk about. So they're chilling in there.
There are a few moments. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so when she comes back, again, like, bouncy, green-eyed. All right, let's fucking go. We've got some clones. We're going to try it on. Do it. Do your magic, Milo.
Some clones of what?
This is fresh information for him, so.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't care. Make it work.
I'll try.
And he's like
Clones of what?
like running through what they could be
She's
clones
like-
of.
Turned around.
Yep. On we go.
Bouncing in business. Like the very first time you met her. Knock on the door.
Right.
The Sidon's office.
Oh yeah, side end's just still hanging out in the dining room, so you can walk right back in.
Okay, yeah. So then, she probably would have stopped then if she saw him. She would have stopped and, like, you would have seen her before she even got to them. She would have bent over and whispered in her ear, let's try the clones. So, and then she's going to take them to follow him.
Okay. So you guys are gonna follow.
So are we with Mr.
Are you-
Bormar at this point?
We're going to follow him.
So, since we're being above board, what clones? The more I know, the more likely I can try and make this work.
Well, you need someone powerful, right? You need someone of large enough
Equivalent to Nax, yes.
or greater than.
Or greater than, yes. A lesser essence or ego will be overwhelmed by the magic and it would not function.
This is one of those better to see than say sort of situations. Follow me.
Oh shit. All right.
Sidon starts walking through the house towards like where a wine cellar would be, goes down in there. He has one guy in there who just sort of opens up the door. Sidon himself takes his like small gray blazer off, hands it off to his guard, rolls up his sleeves on either side, and starts climbing down a ladder down into the sewers of Rote.
I'll follow.
You guys take off. That's where we're going to leave you for the moment. We're going to hop off across the country of Corvair over to
What's in the
our
box?
other group. Artyom, Gandwin, Azur, Erish, and Slick popping up on the docks of Zarashak.
Oh,
Unless you were aiming for somewhere else.
no. That's a perfect place to be, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Wasn't this did they say they were going to meet us at Zarashok, or we were supposed to go from Zarashok into the swamps to find them?
We're supposed to try it.
They said they were
ahead.
heading that way towards Zarashok. You know, they were making their way as quickly as they could down that direction. What the last time you guys spoke with them, like 2 or 3 days ago, right? So they have been hiking this entire way down towards Zarashok.
All right.
All right.
So does Zarashok seem like a complete madhouse? Just, you know, first
Good
glance
question.
is are we walking into Bug City or, you know, illithids riding bugs that all have
Yo.
tentacles more than they should have?
Did I walk, ride?
Yeah.
All of the above.
As you pop up in Zarashok, and Valar herself stands in front of you. No. You guys pop up on the docks of Zarashok. And the small, rickety swamp town that is Zarashok, with the bridges connecting each of these huts, sort of built around these large oaks. On the outsides of the swamps that sort of lead into salt water, you see a busy city. Not full of illithids, not full of aberrations, not full of monstrosities, but busy nonetheless. And it looks like on the opposite side of the city, very clearly built, a large like wall has been like actively being constructed from all of the tenants here. You see that Zarashok is currently untouched, at least on the surface. You guys,
At least on the surface. Underneath, though, total hive.
if you go swimming, we'll start having some conversations.
Oh no. See, that squid's got more than 10 arms.
Well, I brought my swim trunks. I'm gonna use them.
You brought your swim sexy robes of evilness. Popping up on the dock. I mean, you get immediate like dock workers turn over towards you, seeing someone there that wasn't there a minute ago. Actually, not a lot of folks on the docks at the moment. Not a lot of ships here either. But you do.
I didn't have anything to do with that.
But turns like you get like one fisherman that sort of turns to you and sort of takes a second glance. Keeps
Yeah,
reading.
Druid stuff is the end of the world. Zoriat's coming. I'm guessing that's what that wall is for.
Yeah.
Okay. You seen any other druids this afternoon? What time of day is it? This morning? This afternoon?
Well, you guys left
Time
out
to go
first thing in the morning, and actually Zarashok would be fairly a little.
So this
bit-
guy's like, it's dawn. He's like getting ready to make his trip out on his boat or something.
No, he's fishing off the dock. It's like this is a guy who's fishing for breakfast, right?
Gotcha.
He reels up a fish. It's got 2 heads. He throws it back in the water and goes fishing again.
Huh?
He's over here getting the fish from The Simpsons with 3 eyes.
He says, and throws. He's like, that could be normal. Don't want it though. But yeah, this guy's just fishing for breakfast is what it looks like. But you guys don't have a lot of attention, as most of the attention is turned to the other side of the city at the moment.
Okay. Do we want to try and evacuate any of these people with the druids?
Do we have a way to do that?
Hey, we can bring them with Slick.
Mister, I can only bring a few people with me. I mean, it's a whole city.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was that populous.
I mean, it's not a huge city or anything, but it's like at least a few hundred, right?
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Well, we need to get to druids first and foremost. We can always come back here a little bit later. I'm gonna assess the situation real quick, take a couple of minutes, and commune with nature. See what type of not nice things
Okay.
are in the immediate area.
Okay, gonna do a quick commune with nature. All right, how far out does that go?
3 miles.
3 miles. That's pretty good.
And it has prevalent plants, minerals, animals, and people. I don't know if a druid would be a prevalent people.
If a druid, I think it probably like Gosh Kala, right? Like that's kind of what
Right.
you're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, if I would be able to like, oh, they're in this area or something like that.
Yeah, if you do a quick communion with nature right here on the dock.
I might move like just to the edge of the city or something. I wouldn't do it in the middle of the city.
Well, like this is a dock city. Like this is seaside, right? So like this is your edge of the city.
If it would work there, sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it works
Okay.
here. I know you can't do it in a city, so like maybe go out a little bit further on the dock. You look at the water. Don't want to get in there, hanging out on the edge of the dock. 3 miles out, and you get to pick some things, right? Tell me what you're looking for again.
Says powerful celestial fae, fiends, elementals, or undead. I guess it doesn't actually say aberrations in there.
I think we've flavored in aberrations though.
Okay.
Within 3 miles of Zarashok,
and influence from other planes of existence. So I will do prevalent peoples, influence from other planes of existence, and aberrations.
Okay. Searching for aberrations, and I'm gonna mix this in with the influence from another plane. How best to describe this? It's not like if Sharn is the pot, boiling, there is some influence here from Zoriat, but it seems like it is just warming up to it. Like this isn't an invasion from Zoriat isn't like an invasion from an outside army. From what you guys have learned and what you guys have heard, citizens start going at each other first, like slowly influenced from the plane itself, sort of suffusing itself with the material plane. I think Artyom feels some of that here. Not like, oh my god, these people are going at each other, but like the influence is maybe starting here, like in its fledgling state. As far as major aberrations go, Artyom does not feel anything within 3 miles. You get like 2-headed fish in that reading, I suppose. And as far as prevalent peoples go, yes, Gosh Kala are here. They are within the city walls of Zarashok.
Oh shit, okay. Well, that's super awesome. We will rush out to meet them or go about the city to try and find where the Gosh Kala are at.
I'm just gonna start looking at where you looking first. This is the first time you've been in this city since you guys first landed here, and Gandalin fought one of the leaders of House Tharashk, and in a basement in a bar, which I don't remember the name off the top of my head, and Mop and Erish hung out with Rosie and Ted, owners of a tavern here. So where are you guys heading towards?
Let's go see Rosie and Ted. We'll do the tavern first.
Rosie,
I suppose.
Ted. You going to the
Will that guy ever answer me when I asked him if any druid folks have been there?
The guy on the dock?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you ask him that.
Oh.
With a natural 19 on the dice. A couple druid folk. Yep. Late last night.
Hey, where did they go?
Sticks his thumb over and points at... I'm looking back at my Zarashok notes. It's been so long since I've even looked at this place. I should have, considering I knew you guys were coming here today, but I didn't. There's quite a few of them, I think. Few in the Mud Bog, the others at Rosie and Ted's place, Firefly's Respite.
All right. Okay. Thank you, your luck. It's going to get bad here. You might want to consider packing up. Kind of looks him up and down if you got anything to pack.
God damn.
He said he was fishing for his meal for the day. I assume this gentleman does not look like he's very wealthy.
You gotta point it out.
Arkham appreciates somebody who travels light like that. And it ain't nothing bad. You know, anything holding him down. He's a free spirit.
Give me a quick persuasion check.
Sure. 6.
Says, no, I'm good. The game cast out again.
Yep. Figured as much. Well, thanks, loser. Yeah, we'll head over there to see if we can bump into any druids.
Yeah. Which one are you going to? You going to the mud bog or to the Firefly's Respite?
The closest one.
You bitch.
Roll dice. Oh, that's lovely.
Fireflies first.
Okay, so Rosie and Ted's place.
Yep.
More quiet place. This is where Nilbo stayed. Y'all stayed in the mud bog last time. Nilbo stayed at the Firefly's Respite. As he said, it's a little bit quieter and he could actually get some sleep. So you guys go there. Rosie and Ted, still the proprietors of this little B&B, and also hung out with Erish and Mop for quite a long time, while Nilbo and him worked on the ship. Let's see. I should start a combat right now with how well I'm rolling. Rosie opens the door and stabs you with a natural 20 on the dice.
And what?
Trust.
Rosie opens the door and says, hi, I remember you. Where's Little Mop?
He's not with us right now. We're in a hurry. In the world's kind of... What?
What?
What are the druids that came in last night? I need to speak with them. It's very important.
They're still asleep. They came in quite late.
That's fine. Where are they?
Sleeping. In their beds.
I need to wake them up so that I can get them to places that I need to know. Where are they?
In their beds. In their rooms.
Can you direct me to their rooms?
It's mighty rude to wake somebody up.
It's just mighty rude, but there are hundreds of people dying every second right now. I really need to get these people awake.
All right, well, that sounds important. Turns around, starts leading.
Well, I guess that's okay. That's a good excuse.
Starts leading you up to these rooms that sort of hang off the establishment of the Fireflies like main building. These like sit on sticks above the swamp, out sort of above it, like little bungalow type situations. Goes in, says, just anybody? Okay. Hello. Good morning. Sorry. And you hear like some orcs stirring around. And we're just gonna give you a quick little luck check.
Archon will call out for Lagra.
Quarta Lagla.
Yeah.
You get just an orcish gentleman, sort of older orcish gentleman, opening a door. Says, "Oh, Lagla? She's not. She's through those. Azure."
Hello. It's good to see you.
As this older orcish gentleman in his later years, sort of tied back gray, mostly gray at this point, sort of gray and black hair, tied back behind his head, hairline pushed pretty far back at this point, pretty large yellowing tusk sticking out of his mouth. As you see there, Azure, your adopted father.
Going in for the hug.
Yeah. He brings you in, Just, it sort of hugs you real tight. Says, it's early. My bones are flexible ever, but the morning's not even an excuse anymore. How have you been? We haven't seen you in so long.
I know. I'm alive.
Is that? And you hear another voice. Is that? And you see both of your adoptive parents hanging out in here. You see Turk and Booga. She comes up to you, lightly brings her arms around you, sort of pulls you in. You see your adoptive mother, older orcish woman. Instead of gray and black hair, her hair's just gone snow white at this point, sort of in a nightcap, and the nightcap is fairly massive on her head. But other than that, just in sort of some loose robes. Who brings you in for? It's been. How have you been? Where have you been? All we get is phone calls, like once a month.
I know.
I paid for the daily plan.
It's better than that. It's like once a week or so, except for when I get lost in a different realm and come out months later.
I'm hearing excuses.
Yes, Mom.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
She brings you in again. So what are you doing here?
We are here to
Define
get you
Lagla.
and-
My memory is shit. I know.
Yes.
She told us a few days. We just got in late last night. But she told us you were coming in. Yes. Let's find her. Have you? And she sort of lowers her voice. Have you talked to Reika yet?
I've tried to reach out a couple of times, but I haven't heard anything yet.
Sort of just pats your hand. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Lagla, let me put on some proper clothes first. And sort of close the door. A few minutes later, Shork and Booga are ready to go. They take you to another one of these huts, knock on the door, and we see an old friend played by one of our characters. However, just to avoid some confusion, I'll keep the NPC stuff.
No. Let her play both.
Ian said,
I
play
had
it
to
where it
do it.
lies.
I mean, she's not with this group right now, so
Yeah?
She will be with this group very soon.
Well,
and she just gets lots of RP opportunities.
I know exactly how to make it. I've got like 5 tons or like 500 liters of it right here. Pretty
Pull
cool.
up both. Talk to yourself.
Stacy, do you want to play Carlagla? I'm gonna have to like feed you information really quickly through a message. No? Okay.
That girl.
All right. Carlagla sleepily opens her door.
Good morning. I understand you guys got in late last night, but you're
She turns around and just leaves you at the door. Come on in.
okay. Yeah, head in. Get your things together. Unless the sap, we're going to need lots of the sap. Can you make it with resources outside of the swamp?
No.
What
Sap
do
was
you
never
need?
something that we could produce. It was never something that we could make. It always came from the tree. That's why it was so important.
And the tree is lost then.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of cutting or a sapling or a seed?
We will roll for it.
Always high.
Always high. Okay.
Okay.
Lagla will say, I'm trying to think while I'm shaking my dice here. Lagla will say is, We used a lot of the sap coming here, so we would be free of the corruption that we were exposed to. We saw what it did to other folks the first time on the invasion.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's been used already, if not all of it. I got nothing from the tree. It was the first thing to go.
Okay. Shit. All right. That's not good.
No.
We at least got a safe place we can get the rest of your people to. How many are you?
After the Southeast tribes joined us, we were almost 100. Now, less than 30.
30 is probably way too many for Slick to get back. Yeah. Okay, I don't know if I can get that many people out today, but I can come back. Shit. Though it wasn't the tree itself that was the magic. It was from the seal beneath and the magic put in the tree, I presume.
It's a combination of both. The two together.
Do you know of any other trees that could produce this kind of sap?
I wish. Oh, give me 1 second. She's like boiling some type of caffeinated leaf on a stove, pours it, leaf and all, into a cup, drinks it down, heads over, grabs like a small cask, like a fair size that would have been filled with the sap, looks around, like moves it in, shows it to you. There is like samples of it, but not like enough for more uses.
Okay. Maybe Milo can figure something else out with it, but
if you can.
We got a safe place if you want to get some of you to come back with us. If not, we're going to go. Everyone, it's the end of the world. We'll try and stop it, but it's still happening as we speak.
Sits down on her bed. What's your plan?
I don't have much of a plan at the moment. I'm still trying. I get locked into Fey Realm. Me and the rest of the Shiny Vanguard did for about 6 weeks or so. So we're still trying to catch up and figure out what's going on. I know that the leader of House Orion seems to be in cahoots with them somehow, and the last daughter of Solarkill that we haven't gotten to is somewhere and wanted. Darn's not happy with me and the rest of the folks that we're running with, and I'd give her the basic rundown that we've heard from the news of the different cities across Corvair.
A lot of that just doesn't register.
Right.
She is of the swamps and is not really into or cares much about Orion or anything else that you're telling her about, except for the seal, the business of the seals, this like the Gashkala seals that have broken.
I'll definitely tell her about the Eldine Reaches and the Demon Wastes.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's not good.
Damn.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, there was the what's the word I'm looking for? The Zoriat came in from within the swamps here within the Shadow Marshes, right?
Correct.
Starting off near the tree and just kind of pushing inland.
From the tribe's perspective, right?
From the tribe's perspective, right. But I mean, right? Clearly, they are not under siege here at Zarashok.
Not under active siege, but
right.
you guys
they're
have
like
seen them
able to
building
build
like a wall.
shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're able to. They are not yet being swarmed.
Right.
Ian's probably just been sitting quietly as I was trying to desperately get reconnected with Skype. And just kind of speak up for the first time about the members of House Thresh. Are they still here?
I don't know. Not sure.
Just kind of look out a window, because you said this is a pretty full city right now, right? It's pretty bustling.
Yeah, there's folks, especially on the wall side. It's mostly like, and if you look out at that side now from how far you are into the city, you'll see that they've, I don't know if you remember, but when you guys were here originally, there were like large like flea-looking insects with like 30-foot tall legs that would like go through the swamps that they used as travel. All of them have been killed. All of them have been just straight up killed, and now sit as shells as part of the wall. But you see like 50 or 60 people at least, like using moving those shells into place, fastening them together, putting spikes on them as like a defense from the north. From the north of this country.
Yeah, just kind of look out that way, and then kind of glance back over at Lagla. Where the other people here of this city are going to get ran over without anybody of proper knowledge yet to guide their defense.
You're pretty quiet there, Ian.
I do not know why.
Oh, well,
I can hear you now. So you.
Yeah. I just said that the people of this city are going to just get rolled over without anybody knowledgeable of the forces that are coming to help assist in the defense. I put my mic in my mouth.
Oh, that's much better. Keep it in there.
Microphone. Hello.
Stop.
Perfect.
Stop. Can I get a large milk, please?
Nominons.
Lagla just says, well, it's coming for them, one way or the other. We stick around, we can help. Maybe fight it off.
I'm just gonna kind of trade a look with her, like, are you fucking serious? Like, you know that's not gonna happen without saying it and, you know, putting the words in the air, like you know, you just try to hold up here, everyone's gonna fucking die.
And, yeah, I mean, her look is unwavering. This is my job.
Okay, that's what Gandalf wanted to get out of that statement was to gauge that. Okay, cool.
If we find out something that might be more helpful, we'll let you know. And
if you have a
maybe
plan, something that we could help with, I'd be more okay with leaving this place. But if right now your plan is just to evacuate us, when we're essentially the only ones that can help these folks, no.
Well, the idea would be to try and evacuate everyone. I just can't do it today.
Evacuate the entire city of Zarshak.
If we could organize them into such a manner to facilitate it, yes.
They can all run through a portal in a tree in 6 seconds.
You know, two or three of those.
What was that? The fucking Critical Role scene where they're like trying to usher as many people through.
It's basically what you have to do is you have to get people, they get them about 20 feet away, and you get them in a single file line, you get them all packed in together, and then you get them to start running like, okay, finish the spell now, and everyone's just running full speed.
And hopefully you're not the unlucky one.
Yeah.
Sliced in half. Gone.
Well, we have Milo. We can get Milo to test it. You know, we'll do like a couple of test runs of everyone running so we can gauge a rough speed. Like, okay, This will be the last guy. No, this is the cutoff. He's got
Who has
he's
the
got a
most
little
hustle?
stopwatch.
Who has the most hustle?
Yes.
So
Last one's
The
gonna be
literal
actual
cutoff.
solution: get them all real high, make the portal horizontal, and then just drop everyone just in a line. Just
I'm just imagining the testing. Get them in a nice like gymnasium situation. The fitness.
I'm
trainer pays
just
the test.
imagining one of the trees on Tookie Tookie that's like on the side of a cliff, and the momentum of everyone coming out of this thing and then just tumbling like 80 feet
ocean?
down a fucking cliff into the ocean while it's going 60 miles an
While
hour.
he's, yeah, while Tookie's going 60 miles an hour, just
We just send all the Gashkala on the whole western coast of fucking Corvair to their
Nice.
fucking death. They're all drowned now. Congratulations. Great fucking heroes.
We are heroes.
We are heroes. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
all right, back.
And then we do it again. Like we just get we do it again. More people come through.
We actually changed sides, and nobody didn't tell the DM.
Yeah, it's just dump everybody in the ocean. That's the plan.
Our side doesn't look like it's winning too good, so I don't know.
Shirk puts his head beside yours, Azur, and says, "These are the friends you've been traveling with,
Yes.
and they're going to dump us in the ocean."
No.
I don't believe anyone said anything about the ocean.
Okay, I must have misheard.
Yeah.
They definitely. He turns to Bogo. They definitely said they were going to dump us in the ocean. I heard it.
That's what Eris is over there like. Artyom, I'm pretty sure that if we do that, by my artificer calculations, they would go flying into the ocean. They would skip like rocks.
Okay. We'll maybe have to prepare for that somehow. But it's something that could be possible. We'll stay in contact. We're going to try and get some more information, come with a plan, and then maybe we can try to stop the end of the world.
Raises
The power of positive thinking.
thick leaf water towards you. I'm on board for that.
Oh wait, I don't have that hat. Never mind. I was gonna pull out alcohol and dink. But
how many people did you say had to be evacuated?
About 300 in the city right now. 30, a little less than 30 druids.
So if you did get Milo to do it, it'd be about 4 hours of work to get all of them out of there.
To get to where?
Tookie.
Tookie is constantly moving.
Maybe it's coming closer right now. We don't know. Could be like 3 hours and 50 minutes.
Hell yeah.
See,
Like how I justify speeding on the highway.
Homie's path in the ocean is just to where he can spell dick in the ocean if you were to read it from an area level.
he's just drawing a wiener.
Yeah, he's like the.
All right.
Dern blows. Dern blows.
I do not.
Otto can look down from space and see it.
Nice.
Okay. Well, I'd like to take this step to see if maybe we can replicate something similar.
If you can
Maybe give.
by all means.
Might not work exactly the same, but we might be able to copy. Good enough. Okay, we'll be in touch. People are dying. We have to go.
She just sort of shakes her head back to her coffee, trying to wake up after like an hour and a half of sleep. Very well. Come up with a plan. You'll have us on your side then. Until then, we'll do what we were meant to.
He'll kind of turn to to Azur's parents. I'm sorry. What are your names?
I'm Troke.
Droke?
Troke. I It's not that
Maybe
hard.
it's
It's
hard.
Trurk.
Sentence, please.
Turk.
My name is Trurk.
Church.
Trurk.
Twerk.
Trurk.
Okay.
You know, where are you getting the W from? It's Trurk.
Like, Big T, got you. Okay.
Yeah, it starts with T-R-I-R-K-H. Trurk.
Turk. Turk.
It's the H4.
Okay. So Big T, and your mother's name was
I'm Booga.
what?
Booga.
Uga. Okay, Big T and Uga. Do you guys want to come, or are you staying with the rest of the Gashkala?
Well, I mean, we have a duty as the rest of them do.
Okay. All right. Let's keep moving. We'll be in touch. Thank you for this sample. It could mean everything.
Just put the names in chat for you.
That's even more. he's right. It's even more confused. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot how to spell Gosh Kala, so I just spelled it phonetically.
That's not fair.
Gosh, Kala.
Yeah.
Oh,
essentially.
oh gosh.
Gosh, Kala.
It's two A's instead of an O. G-A-A-S-H. Apostrophe. K-A-L-A.
So Audrey's like, oh, it's the Gas Kala.
Gas Kala.
That's okay.
Oh, jeez.
Booga does look around there. Wait, are you leaving right now? Grabs Azor's hand. You just got here.
Yes, I believe we probably have to.
I can't hear a word you're saying, man. You gotta talk into your mic.
What?
Yeah, we'll be leaving soon. I believe we came here to.
I don't think you're using the right mic,
It is
actually.
not using. There's no way it is using his correct microphone. Like, it swapped. Because he talked earlier, and you could hear him just fine. Skype's just fucked up today. That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
So you're losing your voice. You need some tea. I'll be right back.
That's a pine needle tea.
Pine needle and tree frog, your favorite.
Pine needle and tree frog, your favorite.
Poison dog frog.
It's not for the taste. It's
That did not
Nope,
fix
you
it.
tap
Wyatt.
that bitch, it did.
It didn't make any noise.
not
Yeah.
for.
Smack that motherfucker. Bow!
No. It's picking up. I hear a fan in the background, so I think you're using
Yeah,
like your
it's
webcam mic or something.
Just grab the webcam mic and just bring it in for the close up and talk in it like a fucking.
He's just.
We see
Hit him with
Wyatt's chin.
Hit him with the captain's log.
Ranger's log.
Ranger's log. Drake Warden's log. I fucking hate the swamp. It's wet and muggy.
All right.
There
Yeah!
it is.
There
Yeah.
we go. Okay.
Milgram came from the afterlife to help him get his
Okay.
mic set.
He fixed the microphone.
had to fix the mic. Milgram did. So yeah, back to what I was saying. Yes, I believe we will be leaving very shortly. Because we very busy trying to save the world. Y'all sure you're gonna stay here?
What else are we gonna do? You get a lot of background noise there. What? It somehow just got worse.
We're going to figure out the plan once we know what's what, and we'll come back.
Okay.
I wish I had a better better news.
Okay, well, I know you'll take care of them, Azor. Very capable. You should speak to Reika before you leave.
Okay. Jeez. Are they here?
We don't have a home anymore, son.
Right. I thought they were back in. Last I had heard, they were back in our original home. Rosura Swamps. Is that fucked too?
It's gone. You've been gone for a long time. And I
Understood.
say that not to make you feel bad, but when you talk to Reika, remember that.
Where is Rika?
She has a room over at the Mud Bog.
Okay. I will go find him.
Okay. Where are you leaving from? We'll be there. We'll have some of your favorite snacks to send off with you.
Guess we will depart from the docks.
Okay. How long?
Um,
20 minutes at most, I'd say.
Oh, I need to get moving. And
Yeah.
she just goes back to her her bungalow. What are you folks doing?
Going to find Rika.
All right. Azor walks off towards the mud bog. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Going with Azor.
You just following Azor? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh. Yeah. We
Right.
go.
Daniel?
Party split, but we don't have to split it that much.
I'll split it. Fuck you.
God damn it.
I'll do it. And just to keep it simple, I'm just going to go investigate to see if members of House Thrashk are still within Sarashok.
That makes it a bit easier because the last place known that you knew that Thrash was definitely hanging out was the mud bog. Because you fought
Oh, okay,
one,
perfect.
You fought one in
I
the
did,
basement
and lost horribly.
of the mud bog. So
If I fight him, can I be the new leader of House Thrashk?
you know, if there's a house,
Give me
Thrash
that!
available,
Give me a dragon mark.
just
Yoink.
rip it off.
Yeah,
It's just that it was a sticker the whole time.
that'd be slick.
Yeah,
I
that
can
would-
cast Hex, which is basically Hunter's Mark.
How terrible would it be if it worked that way? Some guy just going out there flaying dragon mark people and be like, aha, now I have all the dragon marks.
Ew.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a good basis for a villain. Just a absolute batshit psycho murderer. Like, nice.
Nice.
Grievous, but with tattoos instead of lightsabers.
So you three head off.
Okay,
Oh,
perfect. So we
Harrison,
are going to the same place.
Harrison, Slick, and Toe. Well, that was the last place you knew that a member of
Yeah.
House Thrash was. So it seems like a good place to go investigate as to where the current location is. So getting there, you guys, you'll be directed towards Reika's room, where she's sleeping at Azor. Gandalwin, you ask around for a member of House Thrash. Someone will tell you that the triumvirate is actually meeting in the basement. And Azor, Artyom, where are you going? Split between the two. Azor's going upstairs, Gandalwin's going down. Or you just
Shit.
sort of staying in the lobby. We could just grab a
Three-way
drink, I
split.
suppose, and wait.
Three-way split.
Here, you go with the Azure. I'll go with Gandalf. He's kind of like goes into his head like, I don't know what Gandalf's going to do. Someone needs to keep an eye on him.
How about both of us do that? I don't think this was any real danger. Maybe
Okay.
emotional, but I don't need to be there for that.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm never going to say no to having you close by. Give him a kiss on the forehead.
Oh.
Man, all I'm saying, you gotta stop giving Eric so many death flags, man, because I'm just like, if these were 2 NPCs, I'd be like, that one's gonna die. If this was a DM,
If Erish dies, it won't be as tragic if I'm not lovey-dovey with him.
fair enough.
So you two following Gandalf downstairs. Slick says, you're not going in to fight anyone, right, sir?
No, we're just going to talk.
All right. I'll keep around the corner from Mr. Azure. Just keep an eye on him.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate that. You're such a good. You want to give him a pet?
Yes,
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Floppy ears going every which way.
Does he still have his helmet?
Yeah.
He like.
He flips his helmet back. That's his helmet. It just flips back when he's not using it.
Is it more Lost in Space or Iron Man?
I don't know. Lost in Space. What do you mean? I don't know what that is.
I'll show you on the break.
Okay, sure. It's like floppy design. It's like he looks up at you and it goes a clink clink and just sort of falls back on his back.
Lost in Space.
Okay, there you go. It's Lost in Space. Slick will follow, but not too closely to Azure upstairs, just to make sure he's good to go. We'll start off with you folks going down into the basement for House Thrash, specifically Gandalf. If you're searching these folks out, you see one that does look familiar to you, one dark, as he's sitting at the table with 2 orcish house members. One an orcish female with sort of bluish tattoos running up the right side of her face, her hair pinned back, but wearing armor, very clearly a warrior or a ranger of some sort. And an orcish gentleman, also with some tattoos, but most of his black and coming up from underneath, sort of around the neck area. Very like, actually give me a quick religion check.
Oh, hell yeah. So good at those. Religion. Whoop. Throwing that d20. Natural 20 for a 19.
Nice. Yeah, you recognize these as like actually give me a second. That's funny.
Every time I'm like, yeah, I have advantage on these, and it's still like, he's still -1 though. Nice.
You still honor a nat 20 if it gets
reduced.
reduced.
I'm just saying, I have advantage at being stupid at smart things. That's so weird.
Yeah. Do you still, if you roll a natural 20, you still automatically hit even if you have a penalty to attack, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a crit.
Yeah.
Something that may catch your eyes is that this symbolism is like I would say even with a natural 20, like you would just recognize it off of a natural 20, and I'm not sure, maybe Gainwin would have seen it like long ago on like on the underbelly of Karnath sort of deal, when maybe he ran into some cultists or something, but these are marks from the Cult of the Dragon Below.
Oh. Do I know anything about the Cult of the Dragon Below? Does Gandalf know anything about the Cult of the Dragon Below?
Does Gandalf know anything about the Cult of the Dragon Below?
Yeah.
They're not one solid like build. They're very fractured in its cult, but they worship like the darker side of things. I would say with a natural 20 and just sort of recognizing that typically not very kind or good people. It's sort of very like power takes and, you know, keep what you kill sort of mentality. You will
Not necessarily those two, like, not necessarily suspicious that these folks would align with the plan of madness.
I'm gonna ask for another one. Give me another religion check.
Okay.
You roll a natural 20 on this one. I'll tell you what you want to know.
Damn it! Why are you so mean to me?
410.
No, no.
What'd you
I
get?
rolled double sevens for a 6.
Oh fuck! Wait, you're not even. Okay, that makes sense. I guess
I'm not
stupid.
proficient. I have advantage by virtue of being a blood hunter.
Not with aberrations or anything like that. Mostly demons and the like. So
those are fine.
yeah. So
We're cool with those guys right now. They're actually helping over in the Eldian Reaches in the Demon Weight. So, you know, it's a vibe. Vibe checked. It's good.
So walking up,
They're
just
having
sort
a
of
meeting.
yeah, they're just sort of talking to each other at the moment. They got a
Before
couple
I
of house
interrupt.
arrest guards around them, but other than that, not much.
Can I hear what they're discussing before
Approaching?
before necessarily making myself known or interrupting?
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Perception is purple. Fuck me sideways.
Give me a stealth check as well. See how long you can listen in before they see you.
Okay, well, perception check is a 19.
Okay.
3 on the dice. I dropped that d20 too, so we're gonna roll a different one for stealth. Okay, that stealth check's a lot better for 32.
Okay. So you just sort of blend in with the shadows for a moment as they're talking. 19's still very good. I mean, they're not keeping it hush hush or anything. But you see Darek sort of leaning back, that sort of cocky swagger that he's always had, still has at the moment. He says, well, we need to decide what we're going to do with our forces, whether we're going to sit here and try to defend and hold off what is to come, or something else and try to get out and try to make our home elsewhere. The female orc says, this is where we belong. Morgosh Kala just got in last night. We can hold these lines long enough so maybe to where we can, with the help of all of the Gosh Kala, make this a safe area to be. I don't know exactly how we would do that right now, but something that we could potentially do. She does say we when she's speaking about the Gosh Kala.
Interesting.
Other guy doesn't speak up too much, just sort of sits and listens. Darek beckons towards him to speak. I say we get out. Leave. There's not going to be much left of this city afterwards. Find somewhere safer, more people, more capable people. Our numbers are reduced and fractured anyways. Sort of the conversation they're having right now seems to be to discuss what they're going to do with their numbers.
And so far it seems like 1 undecided, 1 for staying, and 1 for going.
Yeah. Darek seems to be stuck in the middle at the moment. He doesn't seem to like have his mind made up either direction, and these two seem to have like be butting heads.
Interesting. I guess at that point I'm just gonna step up and I don't know. You said they have a ring of guards.
Yeah, there's a couple of guards hanging out. I mean, if you're just walking up though,
Just come walk up.
yeah. They go to stop you. Dark says, no, let him in. I remember him. I don't believe I caught your name though.
Well, it died since then, so different than
Impressive. So what do we? And the orcs just sort of turn and look at you. One of them looking confused back at Dark and then back at you. So what do we owe the honor? If you're looking for another bout, well, I think it was pretty decidedly handled last time.
A smile for a moment before turning to look at the two orcs. Lime, Gandalf, and Irwinarn. I want to come, perhaps, help you come to a decision.
You ever have to think about how you're going to interpret a dice?
Yes, all the time.
They just sort of stay quiet for a moment, sizing you up, listening to what you got to say, letting you continue.
I let them once they've kind of really paying attention. Is even Dark paying attention at that, or is he still kind of?
Yeah, Dark's listening to you.
Yours is a house of mercenaries. I need soldiers. You say you're looking for a new home?
No, we are not.
Was that I raised an eyebrow at the dude who had voted for leaving.
It's not decided yet what we're gonna do.
I'm gonna look over my shoulder at Artyom, actually.
Erish and Artyom. I don't know about Artyom. Erish, as soon as you look behind, looks like he's like there's a candle. It's like, oh look, candles. It's like clearly, yeah.
Just very beautiful, aren't they, dear?
I just look over at Artyom and kind of jerk a thumb back towards him. You know, I've heard from a fairly well-informed source that probably no matter how much you try to reinforce this place, it's going to fall.
Guy turns around, orcish. Guy turns around, points his thumb back. Female orc just looks kind of flustered at this point, like it's not a point that hasn't been made 1,000 times at this point. Dark does raise his hand and just sort of beckons you over, Artyom.
Artyom will take a couple of steps forward and just say, if they want this place destroyed, it will be destroyed. But
how do you know that?
Because I watched an entire army of Breelish troops meant to destroy the crag team up with the entire garrison of the crag, have their both armies routed in less than 30 seconds from a worm that touched the clouds.
How are we supposed to fucking fight something like that?
It's still out there.
Gosh, Kala have magics can help them. We just need a little bit of time. With our numbers, this city can last at least a little bit of time. Without it, they're not going to last at all. We're not being paid to protect the city.
Usually people don't pay for their own survival. It's something you kind of innately do. You're going to need each other to survive. We all are.
On the contrary, people have paid us for their survival quite a lot.
You don't pay other people for your survival.
Have no need to.
You do. Everyone needs to survive, and everyone's in danger. The apocalypse calls for a lot of pro bono work.
All three angry eyebrows at that notion. Yeah, exactly.
They pass the marker around.
I'm not the king. You want to talk coffers, you talk to him. But we're gonna need all the warriors we can.
A king? I didn't realize I fell royalty.
He didn't realize.
Gets lucky sometimes.
Didn't look like luck to me. I digress.
Archon's like, he fucking beat his. Yep, that was a one-sided fight. Sure.
Mercenaries. Job, I'll give you one.
You're quiet.
You are quiet.
Exchange for. I don't know why I don't know. Mike. Ah.
Large milk.
Large milk.
Eat your mic.
You what's wrong, honey? You hardly eat your mic.
One mercenaries. Job.
You're gonna have to.
The creatures that cost us care little for coin, so it's not going anywhere. The lands they conquer, in the end, you get paid very well, and knows you can come back here after it's all over, or I can guarantee you a new stronghold in Karnath.
And do we get paid during this apocalypse then as well? Because it's not free, no matter how much pro bono there is, to feed mercenaries, to keep them. So
Securing your pay will probably be one of your very first tasks, or securing our way to continue to pay you. I'm sure we can settle on some kind of deposit. But securing Korth, step one. We continue to pay you from there, and you'll continue to fight.
sort of looks at the other two. Seems as if I'm the deciding vote. Make a persuasion check for me with advantage. I like your argument.
Yeah!
Go away.
I fucking hit him with the. Why do you have advantage? Money.
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 Hey, Mr. fucking Krabs.
Exactly. Okay. I've rolled better, but I've also rolled worse. 17.
17. Okay. It's a convincing argument as I've heard. Gets us out of here. Gets us able to properly feed in-house men. To somewhere safer, I presume, at least for the time being. Very well. Sit down. Let us discuss specifics. He brings around another chair for you.
He brings me a chair. What a gentleman.
Like, not getting up, just sort of rotates it around with an arm.
Very well, very well.
And that's where we'll leave you guys. And before we go on break, we'll knock this out real quick. Azor, heading upstairs into the Mudbog, different rooms filled with various snoring folks that are essentially refugees here in Zarashak, finding the room number that Booga gave to you. What do you do? Slick sits down the hall from you and just looking at you. And when you look at him, he backs up around the corner. And he tries to like look at you again, but before his eye hits the corner, you see his entire snout sticking out.
Cute dog. Knock, knock, knock.
Some shuffling. Door opens. See a Nork standing there, greenish skin, their hair parted over to one side with braids, the other side shaven to the skin, sort of tight leathers on. Just a little bit shorter than you, not by much, lean. exactly as you remember them. With a look, actually, that I want you to give me an insight check for.
Uh, 18.
18. They open the door, and their face just hardens when they see you. You don't get much of a greeting. What are you doing here?
They asked that. Well, I was coming here to try to convince my parents to get somewhere safer. Yeah. That's when I heard that you were here and no longer in the Basura swamps. Kibara.
Slick pretends to be a cat at the end of the hallway.
Good
yeah.
dog.
Our home.
Yes.
Yeah. That you said you were coming back with help for? You said that you were going to grab people that could help? That place?
Yep. They were better at convincing me to help them first than I was convincing them to help me first. And things kind of snowballed from there.
Kind of snowballed. Right, well, I don't know if they've updated you, but no need. Good now. Well, I guess the ones that you've seen here made it out because our home isn't fucking there anymore.
Yeah. The folks I cared most about from there seem to have made it out. We know the elders never really liked me. Blue skin and all.
The elders. Did I give a shit about the elders when they found out about you and me? Did I give a shit about the elders when they kept you out of where you were trying to be? When I helped you practice, taught you things? This is where I never gave a fuck about what they thought were their ways. But our home was so much more than that. And you fucking know it. Don't act like you didn't have friends there. People that cared for you. And even the people that didn't know you. Children, Azur. Children were caught in it. Our lakes and streams turned to acid. And all you have to say to me is, the elders never cared for you?
I fucked up. Helping out the Shining Vanguard with their issue took a lot longer than I ever anticipated it going. How long ago did our home fall?
Why? What does it matter? It's gone.
No.
What are you going to do
For the
about
past
it?
month, I was... Nothing I can do about it. Yes.
You went out. You said you were going to find help. It's the last thing I've heard. I've heard a couple of messages from you weeks and weeks later, just checking in. I got secondary news from Vuga about how you were doing, what you were off doing.
I don't know what I can say to you. Nothing really. I am sorry I couldn't get there. No, it's just another excuse, but we weren't exactly in the greatest of places when I left. We fought over whether me being there would have been better. I thought I made the right choice.
You convinced me you did. As angry as I was that you were leaving us. You convinced me that you might bring back help for our home. Weeks go by, you're helping them. More weeks go by, you're still helping them. Months go by. At what point? Angry at you, Azur? I'm not angry at you. Anger's over with. I've had my time to process that. You still think you made the right choice?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
What are you doing here? What do you want with me?
Honestly, swirling of emotions when I heard you were here. I thought our home was still safe. And Kibara was still doing good over the with the sparsed out news.
The seal was failing when you left. How long were we exactly supposed to hold on? Again, what do you want? Why are you here talking to me? More silence, like I've gotten for the rest of these months. They close the door. And that's where we're going to go on break.
Oof!
So, thank you for joining us, folks. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick bio. Hope you're enjoying what's going on. A little bit of drama kicking it off here. Once we get back, we're going to resolve a few more things, and then we're going to hop into a time skip sort of situation. So be ready for that. Don't go anywhere. We drop a follow if you haven't. We're going to take a quick bio. Go take care of yourself as well. And I almost ended the stream just straight up.
Oh.
Whoa. All right, let me click on the right button.
Whoop.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Don't do that.
And hello, everybody. There we go. Jesus, I didn't. Our transitions are still messed up. Anyways, hello, hi, we're back, and we're the same folks that were here just a few minutes ago. Have you missed what had happened? Well, go catch up, because I ain't gonna say it again. Our folks here, we had some folks in Rote, in Eberron, who were looking for someone to transfer Pip's brother, Nax, some corruption that he has that is fatal into another being. There are some caveats to that, being that it will kill the other person, and that person has to be willing for that to happen. After heart to heart with her uncle, Sidam Boromar, Pip has decided, after a bit of meditation, that she's gonna try gambling Nax's life here, to instead attempt a ritual to put these into some clones, or hit these levels of corruption into some clones, where he is taking them to now. Our other folks across the continent of Corvair in a city of Zarashak, catching up with some old druid friends, some old druid family, and some old mercenaries that they've met before. Employees now, as they discuss an employee agreement, writing up a contract, if you will. We're going to finish up with what's going on in Rote real quick, and then we're going to go to a bit of a time skip as to what these folks want to do in some downtime. So, Pip Milo, Kaushik. You guys follow Sidon himself through the sewers of Rote. He takes you through some different ways, carved, not all through the sewers itself, but a lot of these are carved tunnels. Looks to be like where they would smuggle things into the city and stuff like that. He takes you into a place where it breaks off into the main sewer and further into the city of Rote. And after a while of walking, he brings you to what looks like an underground sort of arcane medical facility type looking thing. Pretty heavily guarded. And from what you can see, lots of heavily armored individuals, weapons on their hips, standing guard, rotations. Looks to be very professional and very well funded down here. Underneath the city of Rote. So, all things said, you guys are level 19. So we're not gonna roll initiative. We're not gonna go through combat. You guys are going to tell me, as Sidon points this out, where he says, I'd help you, but I don't like to get my hands dirty. So I want you three to tell me what you're willing to do to get into this facility and what it looks like as you do. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Quick question, and this could be a question for Mr. Boromar or just based on what we can see, as I don't have a visual reference right now. Do we just have to get past them? Or do we have to like get through and then keep potentially fighting our way through? Like once we get past the border, we're in.
That is completely up to you. You can't necessarily see the inside of the facility, but if you wish to try to sneak past them, you can absolutely, and that's the method you want to take. You can absolutely do that.
So do I take from this that this is not his facility and these are not his guards?
Facility. Correct.
Oh, easy peasy, no problem. All right, so I'm gonna immediately do greater invisibility.
I was about
just
to
walk
say,
up and slit everybody's throat.
I was about to say, if we just have to get in, Milo can cast Etherealness to get all three of us and just float fucking through. That's an 8-hour spell, so we could find what we needed to as Boromar guides us. And then if you need to like invisibility cut throats on our way in after when we can.
By the time you do that, she's already invisible and
she's spitting on people.
Leans over.
I am putting the narrative control of this moment into the three of your hands. You tell me what you do, what it looks like, how you react. That is completely on you. If you're working in teams or if you're simply observing the Reaper go to work at this point.
Right there at the beginning, Milo's probably like,
well, okay, so I've got a spell. I think it'll get us through. We'll have to run on the edge of the void, but as long as we don't fully immerse... Oh. Okay, well, that works too.
And she'll... invisible.
Okay.
All in told, 12 guards are taken out within the matter of seconds.
Mr. Boromar, what is on the other side once we get in?
From the guy that I paid off, more guards, clones, doctors, maintaining them.
Okay. Well, you already said I'm gonna have to see who these are, so... Pippa? Are you just gonna do that a lot, or do you want us a little bit more surreptitious?
Anything else to waste time, unless you've got something faster?
There you are. Shit. Okay. Well, are we going to be able to easily abduct this clone? Like, is it awake? Is it in stasis? Is it non-sentient?
Stasis from what I hear. Clones, plural.
Oh,
you're not going to be able to get much out of here. Because if anybody on the inside's being alerted, someone else is already on their way. You may want to start working more quickly.
All right, on we go.
Is the door locked?
Yeah, but
Damn.
you just killed 12 badges, like 12 guards with badges that you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you like bap, and she'd go through, and any guards that are on the other side, she's taking them out just the same.
Is this narrative in the same way that our previous like narrative skill challenge type things are? I can do stuff I can't normally do.
Yeah.
For flavor. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna like.
I'm handing you narrative control to tell me how you are getting into this to the clone, like to the clone chamber. Essentially, it is in your hands.
All right. Well, if Pippa's already dropping bodies, he's gonna be like,
Oh, shit. Well, here we go.
he's gonna like take Arcanum and Mechanum and like ratchet them together and take out a frame and stick it on top, turning it into something slightly larger than a heavy crossbow, actually very similar in appearance to the bow cannon configuration of Gandalwin's device.
PHB.
Jesus Christ, the PHB. And basically, as Pippa works, he's going to be like looking for like guards that might like notice and run for an alarm or whatever. And this has turned Arcanum and Mechanum into like a silenced rifle, just kind of like letting her do most of the work. She's clearly driven, so he's like, well, I guess I'll help.
And Pippa would, have mentioned to Kaushik, "Oi, you might keep an ear out, so to speak. But you can do the thought thingy."
No, absolutely. Zoning in on those strip spots all around just to see if anything's going on.
Sort of broadcasting
Pippa,
out. Okay.
I was gonna do
outside
this
guard's
a little bit.
gone. Inside guard's gone. Then who else do we see inside?
When I give you guys narrative control like this, I just want you to describe to me what you're doing. You are at essentially what is like a medical facility. The medical staff on deck here is just taking care of the clones. It seems like they require some sort of maintenance. So there is a small like doctor, like medical staff on here, like arcane doctors that are just well versed with arcane technology like this. Other than that, it's just well guarded. So
If Pippa is like at any moment where it doesn't seem like she's needing things or like between conflicts, Milo is going to be looking for like information to figure out like what's going on, like if this clone is going to need care after it's taken out, what the fuck is going on here, and just kind of hoarding that information while she's doing Reaper things until we get to where we're going, I guess, as Ormar archaically guides us through.
So Pippa will like pipe up from your shoulder, like, how many of the medical staff do you need left? How many do we need?
I don't know.
Otherwise, we'll figure it out. You're the smart one. You and Kaushik, what do we need? Let's go. We don't have a lot of time.
Marty and I.
Around here.
DM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's going to be moving through and getting what information he needs, and I guess filtering that information through to Pippa.
Hold on. They're scientists.
Ratchet that power down.
Like this.
Stun setting.
Okay.
I want to see the clothes. I want to like have this vision of them being like under glass. I want to like wipe off the glass or whatever and see who do they look like. What do they? I want to see what they look like.
He said,
Yeah, like when we finally get to like the holding room, what do we see?
Yeah. I just wanted to see how you guys were getting there. So after
Expeditiously.
Milo's trying to limit killing as much as possible.
As you silently pick the ones going out for alarms off with your silenced rifle.
Setting.
Whoa, oh, were you stunning the guards going for alarms?
Yeah, once I thought of it, yeah, he would have done that non-lethal if he could have.
Okay. All right. So, non-lethal, it's fine. You know you have, by doing so, you've limited time to make this happen. Kaushik, the thoughts that you hear are from about 30 dying men and women as Pip just goes through and kills anyone in her way.
Anything important in those surface thoughts other than ow, oh no, I'm dying?
A whole lot of not ow. Whole lot of gotta run, and just sort of cut off thoughts.
Cold-blooded Pippa, cold-blooded.
Brittany, that's kind of creepy how you're smiling while you're going.
I'm sorry.
It's her lullaby.
It's Whataburger fries. They're really good.
As you guys get to the central chamber for this area, you have a couple of stunned scientists off to the side that you've stunned in this room, sort of circular, lining the walls beneath you, held in a kind of like sort of cryo bath type material, kept cold, raised up from below. You see these like crystal coffin like containers raised up, wiping off so you can see within. You see a very naked, very bald man with a long mustache. You see Quanti Dorian, and you see 20 of them in here.
Does Milo know the implications that there are 20 of them? Like, does he understand or draw a conclusion about, like, these are extending Quanti's capabilities, I guess?
What do you mean?
This would be the point where if we weren't doing everything narratively, he would be rolling Arcana checks to be like, are these absorbing his consciousness when Quanti dies?
Yeah. I mean, you know what the clone spell is. You're at a level where you would know what that is. Yeah, absolutely. If Quanti dies, his consciousness comes back to one of these. Resurrects, keeps walking. This is a life insurance policy for Quanti. 100%.
How many clones does Milo think we could need?
You're not sure. I will say.
Let's take 5 and kill the rest.
I will say that moving clones like this through the sewers and back to the Boromar house, you know Sidan wouldn't be on board with that. If you're doing something, you're doing it here. You've got a couple of hours before anyone stunned wakes up. You got, with your stun setting, you got 3 hours to work, unless anybody got an alarm off.
Shit, well, I guess we're doing it here.
So I was planning on using Etherealness to walk us the fuck out.
Can you guys
All
put
right.
Etherealness on 20 different bodies?
But we wouldn't be leaving with 20 of them. You can cast it on
8, I think.
8 people.
I could be wrong.
I think it's 8, but I'm double checking.
Why waste time moving it, Milo? We have what we need here. We have all the bodies we need here. Then we get rid of the rest when we're done. There's no worry about having enough. Let's go.
All right.
DM, mechanically speaking, how does willingness count towards a clone that currently does not have sentience?
That's where the luck part comes in. You have 20 very capable, like as far as power level goes, shells that you can attempt to siphon off this corruption with. The problem is that you don't think that without souls that you're going to be siphoning off a little bit of Nax, like that corruption part, to fill each of them. So Nax is going to be willing. He will be, like, to get rid of this corruption. But essentially, you're going to, like, hope and bank on this working. That's what the gamble is here.
So as we're getting here, and he's kind of looking around, and he's taking out his like toolkits for this ritual. So look at Pippa.
I am not certain if this will work, and if it doesn't, there is a chance that it could also make things worse. It might work. It might do nothing, and then we have to revert to another plan. But if it makes things worse, you still want us to go through with this? I don't know. This is involving things not usually touched on by academic magic, and nothing that I have seen, even in the void. I can try and account for some of the unknowns, but not all of them.
She takes a coin out of her pocket after looking at you for a minute and flips it. Sticks it in her pocket. So, don't fuck around, get it done. And she goes to make sure the door's locked.
You have to explain this to Nax. He has to be completely on board as well. I'll start setting these things up.
The conversation has been had with Nax, just to interject real quick. I don't want what I don't want is that you guys know that you stopped something from happening by minutes or hours. You're not entirely sure. By putting him in the bottle, you've stopped something from nearly immediately happening, right? So you don't have a lot of time with Nax past the conversation you've already had with him. That's what that 25 persuasion check. You essentially persuaded Nax to take the chance to live again. He's on board with whatever plan you've concocted at this point.
I clicked. So yeah, if we have Nax, Milo would ask for Kashik's help while Pippa retrieves Nax in dragging out one of the clones and proceed.
Okay. All right.
Pip will wait to the very last second because she knows there's not a lot of time. And she's watching for Milo to give her the cue that it is the very last second. And then she'll open the bottle.
I am double checking something real quick.
Sure.
Yep. So as he will need both of them for the full duration of the spell. And this will be a kind of magic that is a third thing. It's got some of the void stuff, but this is different. It is not him simply drawing on void magic, and he's not pulling out trinkets. You're going to see Milo doing things that look a lot more occult. He sets out scrolls with eldritch glyphs written across them in a circle as he's doing this, each one pinned to the floor with a small knife. And he's going to take inks and chalk, and he's going to this takes an hour, so it is going to be an elaborate giant glyph with Nax and the clone in the center. He is dabbing like red wax on each of their foreheads, pressing their palms together, binding them, and drawing a glyph on either side of the reversed hands. And, setting out candles. It's incredibly occult. And he is chanting the entire time as he performs the spell Siphon Contamination.
Okay. Waiting until the last moment. Getting ready to open the bottle. Here's how we're going to do this. Stacy, I'm going to let you decide because this is your brother in game. This is a character that, even though it has been Aelin before, that is not who he is anymore. This is your brother. So I'm going to let you decide something really quickly. You have 20 clones here, any one of which could be a sufficient enough container to hold the corruption within Nax. However, when one can't, you are essentially going to burn it out like a fuse. So on one, if it can contain it, then you have 19 clones that you can do whatever you want to with. However, there is a chance that it could just go through all of them. There's a chance that this can fail, right? You guys have done a lot here. That's the gamble. There is a chance that this can fail. What you saying there, Milo?
I was gonna say, and just due to the level of the spell required, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 20 clones. Milo will ask Pippa while he's getting everything set up.
And if you could kill 15 of those, please.
We get 5 chances max, because that is how many sufficient spell slots I have.
No, I'm not saying that you're gonna. This is one casting of the spell. One casting of the spell.
Gotcha.
One's gonna get burnt out. Okay, like as if it fails. The mechanics of this is you have 20 of them. Pip, you can say each of these guys roll as well, or you can simply just roll 20d20. On a natural 20, it's a success. So it's up to you. Do you want to roll 20d20?
Yeah, I'll roll 20d20. I'm going to do it in D&D Beyond, because that's a lot of d20s.
I ask that you roll one at a time. So you
one at a
can.
time. All right, cool.
Yep.
Then I'll do it.
I'm
I'll do it.
going to assume you will not let me use my nat 20 portent for this.
You're a son of a bitch. You know that?
Is that a yes?
Do you have a
I
natural
got 20 shots. Yeah,
I have a
he does.
20, a 3, and a 13.
Hang on. Let me roll some first, because I don't want to waste it if we don't have to, because I got 20 chances
Okay.
to get it right.
Let her roll 19 times.
If you don't get a chance to use it, I'll let you use that 20 portent on your downtime. So it's not wasted. Just say them out loud as you roll. 15.
16.
One clone burnt out.
12.
Second clone burnt.
15.
Third clone burnt.
Oh, nat 1.
You better stop. 2 clones.
Crispy.
15. We're changing dice. Y'all are, what the what?
5 clones burnt.
Oh no, I'm sorry, that's a 9, but still, doesn't matter. Another 9. $15. 8. 10. How many is that?
It's 10. You're halfway through.
Okay. 18. 11.
Glasses.
3.
7 left.
Yes.
What was that?
5.
6 left.
Another nat 1.
5 left.
1. 17.
4 left.
Yep.
Was that 2? 3
sir.
left.
5.
2 left.
No, 9. Whatever. Still didn't pass.
So.
I'm gonna let Stacy decide.
Okay.
Pip, you've just seen 19 clones of Orion. Their eyes just fizzle out and burn. They convulse. They just fry in their containers. And the connections via the runes and the mechanical connections in the clone caskets sort of zoom to the next. The process starts again, and 19 of them have burnt out.
Well,
I will say this before you roll that dice beforehand. There are times that if you want to take the decision out of your hands, you can. But that can feel bad sometimes when you take that narrative control out of your hands. That story control. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not trying to. I know that leaving it up to roll sometimes can work against our what we actually wanted from the situation. So if you want to take a second, I know this is a big character development moment for Pip, and think about what you want from this moment. You absolutely can. There is no rush here. I got a whole nother group of people on a whole nother continent that I can go to if you'd like me to, or a whole other side of the continent.
Yeah, if that's okay, let's do that.
And on that 19th clone, we cut away. Once more to Zarashak. You folks discuss that because we're going to be coming back shortly. We're going to pick back up right outside of the door of Reiko. Slick walks up beside you. You okay, sir?
No, not really. No. Pet him.
Feels better.
And knowing that she's probably still, are probably still at the door. Head up against it, and I made the wrong decision. I was hoping foolishly to repair things. It's not always in the cards to repair things.
Give me a persuasion check.
My mother insinuated there was something more that I needed to learn from you. But $17.
With your head pressed against the door, there's a sudden rushing forward as the door is opened, and your weight sort of brings you forward. Rick's still standing there. I didn't have anything important to say. I just wanted to see you.
Yeah, I guess that's why I'm here. I wanted to make sure you were okay. Learning you were here made me assume that our original home has fallen. Yes. I acknowledge that it's true. I'm glad you're alive. I'll go now.
Wait. Where are you going?
There's place I'm trying to convince, or I'd like to convince my parents to go to. A place called Tuki Tuki. It's essentially a dragon turtle roaming around in the ocean right now at a very fast pace. Be the safest place for them for sure. And any other refugees. Anyone that could be convinced to leave these lands temporarily while we figure out a way to combat Zoriat for good. That's part of why I stayed away so long, and I don't know. I guess somewhere along the way, I figured trying to save the world might have been more important than former home. Though I've traveled several planes, I still don't know if we're any closer to doing so.
What'd your mom say about staying or leaving?
You know, even though their old age, you know, they want to stay. After she mentioned you were here, I didn't put much more effort into trying to convince her. I knew I needed to try and come see you.
Come on. Let's see if we can go convince him to leave. She grabs your hand and starts walking down the hall. Our camera's going to pan downstairs towards a negotiation happening. And we don't have to go into details, but I would like to know what is being promised towards to House Thrashed, as they let you know of the 300 or so folks that are in Zarashok, that House Thrashed members and agents are about 100, a little more than that, of that number. They're
Third
about
of the
a
population.
third.
Okay, that's pretty good. Do they happen to know where any of their other members, like that were not in Zarashok?
Zarashok has been cut off, like, completely from the outside world.
Okay, so this basically turns from being a negotiation for hiring an army to hiring basically shock troops, or like the whole group to be distributed and used as like smaller units, I guess.
Okay.
So with the intent to, I mean, the negotiation for is to pay them, obviously, as well as part of as an end game. Like if they stick with, you know, the contract through the end, that the intent is after Karnath has been reclaimed, that they will have a like they want to, because I know a big thing with House Thrashk is that they have been slowly ramping up and trying to like be a rival for House Deneth in the mercenary market, and having a spot, like a stronghold or whatever within Karnath would give them a much more central location from which to do that. if they want to start expanding their influence, well, they will basically they'll become Karnas's first reach for like mercenary work and the things that we would normally hire House Denise for, and they will be also beginning to have a more centralized location within the continent.
One thing they would want to get confirmed is where they're housed beforehand. Like during this, where are they staying? If not Zarashok.
If not Zarashok, I would like. That's actually, I guess, something I would like to clarify.
Or is it sort of like, let me get back to you and let's do some time skip stuff?
I think that'll basically be. This will be some time skip stuff. It's like there's a that I will have a location for them. I just need to see. My personal thought is to maybe stash them somewhere in Breland, because I mean, is fucking Breland gonna turn away the idea of fighting men and women being within its borders? Probably not, because I don't think I can put them on Tookie Tookie. It's already crowded, and that's 100 motherfuckers that would be coming and going.
Right.
So that is my intent on where they would be being housed.
Does RTM have anything to say during this? Just you're there, so I want to make sure there's anything that you wanted to put forth.
Just chatting with Erish off to the side, arguing about trying to swing by Silver Lake next.
Why are we swinging by Silver Lake? My family's fine. Probably the safest in the country right now, where they are.
Wait, where is his family at?
With the crown.
With the what?
With the crown. With the royalty of Breland.
Oh, okay. You sure that's the safest place they are? I mean, Sharn had some big walls. Okay.
Sharn didn't have big walls. They just in the air.
The city went up anyway. Yeah, if his family is not actually at Silver Lake, then that's not an issue. Then,
if you want to meet my parents, we can just stop by. That's fine. I've told them about you.
I mean, we can swing by and see if they want to go to Tookie Tookie, but if you feel like they're going to be more safe in the capital, it's fine. But
you're asking me if my parents are going to be safer in a country that hasn't been taken over by madness yet, or on the back of a giant dragon turtle that is running away from madness at high velocity. The answer is I don't know, Artyom. I would assume that they're safe where they are, but if I think so. I don't think there's a right answer. I don't know. I don't think they're in current danger.
Okay. I mean, if it's bothering you, we could go and get them. If you think that they're fine there, I just want to make sure that their safety isn't weighing on your mind needlessly. If you feel like they'll be more safe around homie.
I check in with them. They're safe enough right now. I mean, if things change, I will ask that of you, and I'll apologize ahead of time if it's at an inconvenient time.
No, you don't have to apologize. Yeah, they have means of messaging you, right? Like with magic?
Yeah, we can speak with each other. Not very
Perfect.
often, but yes.
Okay. Well, we'll get back earlier than expected then.
Okay.
I'll meet them after I save the world. They'll be much more impressive like that.
I don't think they're concerned with your resume. Your resume also, stops 5 years ago.
Technically thousands of years ago.
Skip 1,000 years. Well, you skip 1,000 years, and then it goes back, 30 more years before. Regardless.
You're supposed to fluff these things up. You say, he's had thousands of years of experience, right?
I just took some time off for a little while, traveled the world.
Why?
I took a really long nap. It's fine.
Cut away from there. Going back to rope. 19 bodies. Fizzled. on the 20th. What's the verdict?
You see, Pippa has been focused completely on her brother this whole time, but definitely keeping track of the clones. And as that 19th one burns out, she looks up, and it is the face of a very little girl who cannot put herself between her brother and harm's way. And the look on her face is pleading at Milo and Kaushik.
I was going to describe Milo attempting to use the portent, and then after I do the description, I was going to let Pippa decide, or Pippa's player decide, if it works or not. Milo is watching each of these clones fizzle out, and he's going through the actions of the ritual and paying attention to the details. He's watching Pippa, he's watching Mr. Boromar, and he's thinking about what encounters he has had with Nax so far, since he returned to being Nax. And his heart rate is increasing as we get through these clones. 18, 19 burned out, and he's thinking about the reason he wanted Nax to be the pilot in the first place. This is war, and war is hell, and he relates to a lot of the guilt and such that Nax has expressed, and he thinks about that moment when Milo offered Nax initially a way out, or at least to leave. When he first said, "Get in a bottle, come with us, we need to evac you." And he said, "No, I know I'm a goner, but if I stay here and fight and give up this chance at salvation, I can save maybe at least one more life. There's still more I can do here." And as much as he has come to respect Pippa, he doesn't know her that well. She isn't his close family the way the rest of the Vanguard is. But he believes that someone like Nax, who is so genuinely committed to fighting the good fight and trying to save people, that there is no better candidate outside of the Shining Vanguard that he can think of. And coming to that conclusion, as the tubes and the machinery slots over to the 20th clone, is going to clutch at the domino that he always keeps in his pocket. And both mentally and magically reaching out, not necessarily using void magic, but more his resonance, his affinity for the void and the timelines that the void ties together. He is going to reach out for and grasp a version of reality in the future where this works. And with all of his willpower, envisioning the chain of dominoes, tink, 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 seizing the key domino, the last one about to fall, and with raw force of will trying to force that last collapsing domino into the proper place. This is the man we need for the job. The Shining Vanguard can't be everywhere, and we need everyone we can. I'm going to try and use that in that 20 Pro 10.
Yeah. From Stacy.
It will work, whatever that looks like.
energies siphoned from Nax. 19 quantity clones burnt out. 1 instantly filled with 8 levels of corruption. Nax, with these energies siphoned off of him, his face starts moving around until it finds what it was. Its changeling abilities, eye socket maneuvering like back to where it was, as the carapace slowly, just arcane energies like atom by atom off of his body. And Nax McRourke is saved from this corruption. Cody, just so you're aware, with that on the table and with using that portent on a non-skill roll here, I'm gonna make a bargain with you. Is that Nat 20 is gone for your downtime, and those other 2 rolls are what you have left. If you would like to use those during your downtime, you can. Pip, your brother looks at you. Holy shit, I'm not a bug anymore. It fucking worked. And then he passes out.
Before she says anything. Oh, sorry.
I was saying Milo's probably also close to passing out, trying to force reality into what he needed and wanted it to be. He's like lightheaded and reeling.
Oh, shit.
And Pip will, as soon as she realized that, like when she saw it be successful, and saw Nax turn into himself, she spun around with the Dragon's Wrath dagger in her hand and stabbed that final clone that was corrupt.
Okay.
I want to stab it a few more times just in case. I need a second.
Milo, you're saying these things, but as your head is spinning and you're like still reeling from all of the timelines that you were just looking at, sort of that borderland, using that border realm right next to the void, choosing from the different timelines, hearing all of these thousands of voices of Pips where you went through different situations, all of these, different sayings, the voices just sort of swirling around in your head from all of these different timelines, using your resonance to get right up to that border where you can force this domino into the right place. And you do it, and all these voices are swirling around in your head as you still come back to this one timeline. But one voice cuts through. I found you. And that's it. So, Shining Vanguard. Get a bit of time off here. Time off is a strong word. You have no time off. Shining Vanguard, 2 full-time jobs at least. However,
overtime.
We're gonna do a bit of a time skip over the next couple of weeks. For things that you want to contribute. These can be together, they can be separate things, they can be whatever you want them to be. We've already spoken about a couple of them offline, but we're going to voice all of those here, so we know what's happening during this time off. There is no hard deadline here. It is going to be about 2 weeks though, just for everyone's reference. So, who wants to go?
Yeah, I can go ahead and throw out the 3 things that Archum was looking to try and get done. Figure out Gandolin's possession.
Okay. So for these things, that's your first thing, right? How are you going to do that? What is the method in which our team is taking to do this sort of thing?
I guess he's going to have to confer with Koshik and figure out how you exercise people.
and then
Well,
diagnose
usually you have to do like push-ups.
diagnose the situation from there. And after that obviously fails, then there would have to be some sort of confrontation of Gandalin so that he knows that he's not
Well,
right.
Before we get to that, are you attempting to surprise exercise Gandalin like a surprise party, but with demons?
An exorcism.
Yeah, but with an exorcism. It's like an intervention.
It'll be
Surprise!
an intervention with like a spell circle.
Okay, but with glyphs. So like he walks into a room, y'all are sitting in a circle, and there's a glyph in the middle of the floor. I just
Domine Patre.
Well, I just envision Artyom jumping around corners, like splashing holy water at him every time he comes around a corner. He has no idea what's going on.
Christ
Yeah.
tells you.
This
The
is
power.
again. This is all narrative stuff. So you tell me how you're doing this. What I need to know is the process in which you're eliminating exorcism from working.
No, I wouldn't like jump out of like bushes and be like, exorcism, gotcha. I would probably try to talk with Gandalin first, since communication, it's a good thing.
Didn't think that with Autumn, so there's some
Autumn
double
had-
standards here.
It's not double standards.
You guys
Autumn
don't feel
Autumn would have said no. That's the biggest reason we didn't tell Autumn.
right.
And then if she said yes, like the nat 20 persuasion, she would have been like, "Oh, not my baby," and it wouldn't have worked.
All right. For conversations and stuff, feel free to go for it. Looking at the time, we may need to pick up with some more time skip next week, but we're gonna get through some of it
we should
tonight.
just maybe we should just put out there what we plan to do, and then we can pick up with it next week.
I want to get through some of it at least tonight.
Okay. Do you want me to go ahead and have this conversation?
If that's the conversation you're having, go for it.
Hell yeah. Hey, Gambling.
What?
Want to have a quick drink real quick? Got some stuff to discuss with you.
I am organizing my private army with you.
Yeah, sure. I still need to have a conversation with you. Come on, have a drink. It's the end of the world. When's the best time to have a drink?
Sure.
So yeah, I'll getting some of the good stuff. I imagine by now I've gotten my hat back from Autumn. Probably had to get Erish to go and get it for me.
Hat slicker.
Insert cut scene of you opening the door. Get the fuck out! And just closing the door back.
I never want to see your fucking face.
Closing door in time for something hitting door.
Yeah.
So, there's, I don't know a way to approach this thing, so, me, I'll just go get outright and say it. You're not the same person, and I don't mean that in a good way. There is something fundamentally different about you since the Feywild, since we were in there with Katra. I don't know if you're possessed or what, but
Pursuing our goals with you.
come again?
I said I am pursuing our goals. I'm seeking to liberate my country from dumping eyeballs.
Right. I get all that, and that all makes sense, and I'm not questioning any of the real actions that you've taken, but you're not the same person. It worries me because I don't know if you're actually Gandalin. You're so different. I would like to try to perform an exorcism.
Same Gandalin, they've always been.
You're not. I don't mean to matter-of-factly tell you who you are, but do you still feel like you didn't care that your son was dead? You are completely muted.
Yeah, none of that
No,
came through.
I am not. Why is my thing light up if you can't hear me? Ah!
Hey, maybe this is too much to drink. Have you been pre-gaming already?
You know it, brother. I am smashed 24/7.
Hey, the mercenaries here,
Yeah,
mercenaries there.
you look at the drawing he has, and it looks like a football
He's-
drawing, but it's like crooked. And like,
I have been making friends with all of the House Thrash people.
it's a map of Corvair, and he has all of the mercenaries just in the middle of like a different
been-
country.
Playing with them like action figures.
All right, sorry.
And they will hit them with their Thrash kick. It will be awesome.
Tusk bite. Okay.
Jesus. Yeah, you said it had been corrupted by the hag and is becoming a monster.
I don't think it's the same thing as corrupt. I don't think it's the same thing that's happening to Pip's brother or anything.
You said it was to become a monster.
I feel like maybe there is some sort of lingering influence from Sorakatra, or maybe she's influencing you, or did something to you, or is possessing you even.
Kind of thinks. I've been possessed before.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we've all had situations where our minds have been controlled, and I do feel like you've been doing things that Gandalf would do for.
I am myself.
What could I say that would convince you that you're not? You are prepared to kill someone that you shared blood with on the battlefield for months just because they had a hand in your son vanishing. And then when they killed him, you'll say, oh, that's taken care of, I suppose. But you'll not understand the different frame of mind, the juxtaposition.
It's been out of sorts.
You've been out
Large
of sorts.
amounts of stress.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, if you would, I guess, humor me. We do have better things to be doing. But you've aged many years from misadventures we've had. You've lost body parts.
Not old anymore. Thank you.
Why is it so hard to? Do you think that I would lie to you or fuss over you?
I think that you are worrying because of the state of things.
Gandalf, I love you like a brother, but do you think I wouldn't be more worried about Erish if I knew that there wasn't something definitely wrong with you? If I was going to fuss over someone, do you think I would be here fussing over you? A king who could have anyone fuss over him.
Fuss. I have better things to be doing.
Okay.
Stand up to walk away from the table.
Okashi, come on in. He said we can fuss over him.
Jesus Christ.
Well, we'll just do an exorcism on him while he's trying to strategize. We just sit still, don't move too much.
Okay.
I don't know if maybe we.
Yeah, does Gandalf resist at all, or does Gandalf let them go about their business?
I don't think he's gonna walk out if they're about to try to cast a spell. He's just like, I don't know. I guess it depends on what they're doing and how long it would take.
Well, if you're just sitting there and it's.
He was standing up to walk out.
Oh. Where were you going?
Back to probably to talking to members of House Thrash, because my downtime shit has to do with them.
Okay. When you get the moment, let's at least check, just to make us not worry, I guess, if you feel like there's nothing wrong.
shrugs as he keeps walking.
Okay. If there's some downtime later, we'll attempt to do some stuff to gamble.
I would presume. I feel like it's easy enough to hand wave that at some point there would be some time where just he's eating, and you're like, well, we're gonna do it right now because you're not going anywhere.
Right.
Like, you were
He's just sitting there like.
It's like fucking deep chanting around him.
Boris was evacuated to Tuki Tuki. Killing on his unsalted. He is just fucking absolutely like he is going international now.
Okay. Well, Kaushik and RTM, tell me what it looks like.
I'll probably get Erish to help. I don't know. What is there like an exorcism? I don't even know how that works in D&D.
It doesn't. This is all narrative.
Yeah.
So like you can cast Greater Restoration because you guys have the gem. No effect. Like if that's just sort of the instant thing, you cast Greater Restoration, no effect. This will have to be something more intensive, and again, something that D&D doesn't necessarily allow within the rules. So much like the doll exorcism that we did a long time ago, that was just sort of narrative stuff. You guys are. That's what. Tell me what it looks like when you go to exorcise Ganwin.
Yeah, I feel like we'd get some ritual implements set up. It'd probably be something that Kaushik would want to take over more for, with the whole religious things and being able to like turn undead and force ailments out of someone's body by divine whatever, right? But I could, maybe me and Erish can get in there and be backup singers for her or something.
I mean, okay, so first
off, she don't got
backup singer.
First off, she don't got a mouth. That's just.
1 second. Let me check something.
Backstreet Boys dances back there.
That's right.
I wanna exercise, gonna win.
Kaushik, if you're looking at spells, you're not gonna find much to help you unless you're just looking for inspiration.
I'm not looking at spells. I'm looking at features and traits. I'm trying to prepare for this. I don't really, literally the only thing that I can think of that would be comparable to an exorcism, if I am focusing on spell wise via my cleric magic and stuff like that, would be dispel evil and good, right?
Okay.
Would that be?
You're telling me here. You're telling me I'm gonna go ahead and let you know everything on your spell list that you're thinking maybe I can try this and it'll work. And just spell wise, that if you just hit him with that spell, it will not work. However, if you want to use these in a way that RTM's saying, I want to exorcise demons out of, because he thinks Katra is still in there somewhere.
Right. So what I was initially doing, looking through my features and traits, was seeing if I had any way that I could clarify or confirm that what we are going to be doing would be exorcising a demon from him.
Mm-hmm.
Via is there a demon inside of him? But I don't really think I have anything that can do that. Is a demon undead? Could I try to turn undead on him and see if he runs away and be like, oh yes, there is a demon we must exorcise. Let's get to work. I don't. Kaushik doesn't really. I don't think Kaushik really subscribes to the idea that he's possessed by a demon, right? So I'm not really sure.
Well, not necessarily a demon, but the influence of one of the most powerful enchantresses on the face of the planet that
is fair.
Had him ensorcelled for quite a long time during their final moments.
Did you say ensorcelled?
It was 18 seconds.
Okay. I never heard that word before. I don't know if it's real, but if it is, I like it. If it's not, I also like it. Ensorcelled.
It is real.
It's
That's
real?
a word.
Oh, ensorcelled. Okay. That's interesting. I guess, I don't know. Oh my god. I don't know.
Just tell me what it looks like.
I don't know.
Just describe it. What are you doing? And then while Gainwin is eating, you know you got 30 minutes. You got RTM and Eris there to support you.
Mm-hmm.
You've exercised the before on the ship with the doll. Does it look similar to that, or does it look differently?
My magic is different now, so I'm gonna say it probably looks a bit different, much as I do. So I guess, so again, one's just sitting there having his little snacky.
Yep.
I guess what I don't know. I'm just gonna go up to him, like behind him, and put my hands on his shoulders and say, "Sorry about this," and then just kind of like grip his shoulder, and or I guess we're
Eat his
gonna
brain. Brain nom.
And then
Sorry about
I will wrap my tentacles around his head, shoving one into each of his ears.
Yeah.
That's I
Shadow
don't think that's
Blade.
a funny joke. I don't think that's a joke that anyone would be okay with. So my buddy got turned into a mind flayer. He thought it'd be real funny to just touch my head with his tentacles, and he's mad because I stabbed him in the eye with a fork.
And just start pumping in some magic. Where my magic used to be red and black and misty and like almost sparkly. Sometimes my magic used to be, what if it was more of my like cleric magic based on like that kind of thing instead of my blood magic, it would be like iridescent and stuff like that, like holographic iridescent, like pretty, like my cup. I got a new cup. Everybody look at my cup.
Oh shit.
However, now inky black, solid inky black, and oil slick, kind of. It still has like the reflective qualities of like a little bit rainbow, but it's like oily and inky black. There we go. Sorry.
Do you think that
I don't know if y'all can hear turtle meowing in the background.
Do you think that Kashik, with the sort of broadcast as we've determined it, sort of like links in Erish and Artyom to like give them the view of what you're going into as you sort of go in through the top of Gainwin, through his mind and into the rest of them?
I mean, yeah. If they're there for backup and I need their help, I'm gonna clue them into everything that's going on. So there's a low humming noise. Nobody can seem to tell where it's coming from.
The inky black is sort of. I heard the very first note of it, like the very first eighth of a second of it, and it just cut out. That's what Ganon hears directly in his ear.
No. What a lullaby.
Damn! It's terrible, huh?
I'm gonna use my feet tentacles to hold his hands down so he can't stand.
Those are called toes?
What? My tentacles. My totacles.
Oh my god.
As you go through his mind, as you have a couple of times now with your mind flayer powers, it's inky black, just sort of leaking from around you and from under your robes, giving off this eerie sort of iridescent sheen to it. Artyom penetrating into your mind, probably a bit uncomfortable, like a well, you've had someone in your mind recently on this very island that wasn't a very pleasant experience, and this isn't too far from that.
Yeah.
As images are essentially like forced upon you, as you realize you're basically looking at a physical exam of Gandalf from the top down, almost like an arcane MRI machine, looking through his body, his brain, down to his bones and his organs. And with that, written on these organs, scrawled into them, etched into the meat, this curse finds its way throughout his entire body. You find on the inside walls of Gandalf's heart, etched into the sides, the script. You see on and in his bones, the script covers every single one of them. It is written within his blood as it flows through his body. It is, as you go further than that, on a different layer of arcane magics, the physical peeled back, his soul peeled back layer by layer, like paper mache on each layer. The curse is scrawled there. I want both of you to make an insight check.
$23.
That's a 5 on my deception check. I'm just...
You're eating a Nature Valley bar. You're
I'm eating Boris hot sausage. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, that's right, Boris hot sausage.
He will be the next royal chef.
26.
23 and 26. Okay. I think you both realize something heartbreaking. Your friend Gandalf died in that swamp. He died in such a profoundly different way that resurrection isn't the solution here. You think you've lost Gandalf, plain and simple. That this is not something that is curable. That this is not something that you're going to be able to just fix with restorative magics, as you see a hag's curse scrawled on his physical and metaphysical form. After that insight check and realizing the state that Gandalf is in, I want you to both give me a check. I'm not going to call it the same thing for both of you because I don't think that both of you would approach it in the same way. So what I'd like you to give me is a check on, you're looking for a way to solve or this problem or save Gandalf if it's possible. And I just want you to tell me what you're rolling and sort of how you're approaching it. Could be a knowledge check. It's up to you. You just let me know what you roll.
I think more than anything, I would want to try to unravel the curse itself, and not unravel as in undo, but the tangle that's written all over to see how it functions, to see its sort of inner workings, to see if this is going to have to be a long drawn out treatment. Where does it start? Like, what end does it go to? It's going to be an extraordinarily difficult thing, but like unraveling tape, where's the tip type kind of situation.
Okay. And what did you roll?
I rolled perception for 26.
Okay. Kaushik, what about you?
I'm trying to decide. I guess since curse is obviously inherently magic, I guess I'm gonna roll Arcana to see, like, in all of Kaushik's medical training, magical and otherwise, and all of Kaushik's teachings that she learned from her, albeit an asshole of a father, very strongly magical father. Everything that she's learned when studying with Milo, when it comes to magic, even like the stars and shit. Every ounce of knowledge that Kaushik has, she is going to try to go over in her head and see, like, what could possibly help at all, since this doesn't seem to be something that is entirely reversible, even with strong magics, or entirely curable. What could, like, give us a modicum of our friend back? So I'm gonna do Arcana. Oh, and I got a 17 on the dice, and it is plus 11, so 28.
28. Okay. Since you're looking for the beginning of the tape, Artyom, we'll start with you. And since you're looking for end result, Kaushik, we'll end with you, and that'll be what we do for the night. Artyom, you're looking for where to begin with this, and the simple solution, Occam's razor here, is the body. It is physically scrawled everywhere within him. He cannot have the same body. This one is gone. You think that a reincarnation spell could do that fairly easily. But this is a two-part problem, because it's not just physical. Kaushik finding the end and where to fix the issue, looking more to how to restore your friend, and that arcane knowledge that you're sort of deciphering through, remembering back through conversations with Milo, with your father, with Otto, conversations about life and death. You realize that his soul has to be cleansed in a way that is going to change Gandalf in a way that won't be recognizable after the fact. Full clarification. You are not saving your friend Gandalf with these options. You're giving him a chance to live a good life after this, which will require a new body. Kaushik, you'll need to take him not only to the cabin, but past it and into oblivion. Someone will, at least. Someone will have to take Gandalf's spirit close to oblivion, endangering themselves in the process, losing themselves in the process. Because if you go so far, you lose him and yourself. You become just another clean spirit to be reincarnated somewhere else within the world. You don't go far enough, the entire process is for nothing. All of this is to say that in order to save Gandalf needs to die. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Woo! Well, woohoo!
Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for playing with me. I hope you're having a good time. I know I am.
Hell yeah, brother.
I don't think so.
Nice Saturday night banter.
Give me your best yay.
So, we are Hard Knock Dice. We stream on Saturdays currently. with this wonderful Across Eberron campaign. I hope you've enjoyed yourself if you're still here with us. I hope you enjoy yourself if you're not still here with us. Thanks so much. We're gonna raid some folks, but before we do, as always, I don't know if that did what I wanted it to. There we go. Go click on that link where Resident Money with Extra Life, specifically for the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. They changed the raid channel overlay. Oh my god, it looks wild. What am I supposed to do here? We're gonna raid some friends.
If he can figure out how.
As soon as I figure out how to do it.
We should raid an enemy and just to change it up.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna raid an enemy. Who's Hard Knock Dice's enemy? We'll have to think
I
on
don't
that
know. A Heimerdinger main somewhere.
Facts. If you main Heimerdinger, just know.
On site.
Just know HKD ain't about that life. All right. I think this is how I'm gonna do it. So, yep, we're gonna raid some friends over at ADHD Adventures because that sounds fun. Donate to Extra Life, follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You can find us on YouTube where all of these are uploaded. And did I miss anything? No? I'm catching it. Oh wait, I need to start the raid, don't I?
You do need to do that.
Okay, I clicked the button. This new over. I haven't seen this new overlay. Anyways,
Catch you on the flippy dippy, guy.
the
flippy dippy.
Until next time, guys. Much love. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, fellow kids. That's Brittany.